So Billy, you were at AGT, Billy.
Oh,
Yes.
Is this the first episode that something that you have seen is on?
No, this
No.
is actually, they've been showing something every episode.
Wow.
So this, in the actual episode, the only thing was the golden buzzer. Everything else was different.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
It's so crazy. It's such a patchwork of different stuff.
Yeah.
Just this Frankenstein's monster of...
It's
Honestly.
so weird to me. And Simon didn't talk the whole episode, so I don't know what to say about that.
I mean, we'll get to that. We have to get to that.
Yeah.
That is so
Yeah.
interesting.
You're going to
I
have to
think.
tell us about that.
Yeah.
All right.
Wow.
Yeah.
Man, this is going to be an
So we've got
exciting episode.
insider knowledge.
That's what I'm saying. You know, I feel like we should do that. Like, okay, we should probably not talk about this on the podcast, but, you know, what if we sent one person from the office to be a mole? And then we get the insider knowledge. NBC,
Can it be me?
hypothetical. We're not actually going to do that. There's no way we're going to do this. Write it in the budget.
Mm.
Anyways, so we could have someone be a mole.
Have we officially started?
Yes.
Okay,
Oh,
good.
I
okay.
didn't know that.
All right, I didn't know either.
Oh, yeah, no. We've
It's
officially
all
started.
very loosey-goosey.
Yeah.
Okay, good.
Julian likes this kind of...
All right.
Let's just
Free
chat.
flowing.
Yeah.
Let's just chill, you know? Gotta
All right.
relax. Does it make you guys a little bit nervous that when we just like the mics are on, they're hot? Like, no?
No. Uh-uh.
No,
really.
I give the same lack of regard to what I'm saying. Either way, I think.
Oh,
Not
damn.
much of a filter, unfortunately.
Love it.
I was about to say I have something to talk about in the loosey-goosey area.
Ooh, tell us.
It's not off topic.
Loosey-goosey news.
It's not off topic.
Okay.
So I was doing my research,
Okay.
and everybody knows here, everybody at this table, everybody in the podcast knows that I do my research deeply.
Absolutely.
Because I'm trying to figure out what it means that SAG is on strike now.
Ooh, yes.
Because I sent to Billy yesterday a Variety article saying everything that they can't do. And it kind of sounds like Terry Crews and Sofia Vergara, if this is going on at the end of August, are not going to be on AGT.
Wow.
Because they're
Really?
SAG.
It would also be Howie. He's SAG too.
I didn't know how he was SAG.
Every person who's on TV is SAG.
Right. So then,
So then what would
Who's-
happen to AGT?
exactly.
God.
What would
They may
happen?
not have
to-
live episodes yet. They may postpone or wait.
Right.
If
What's going to
that's the
happen?
case.
What's going to happen to AGT? Think about it. The Voice has Reba on this year. They have to stop filming now.
Wow.
Yeah.
They have to stop filming. And also, I think Carson Daly is probably SAG
Oh,
too.
my
Every
God.
person who's on TV is SAG.
Right.
So
So
you
like,
have to.
Just pay your fucking writers.
do
Like,
you want to know who
Hey,
I don't
your
want to be
staff.
right now? I am very happy to not be the casting director of Dancing with the Stars.
wait, why? Oh my God.
That one you
that's
may
true.
get away with it because there's like sports people
That is true.
that are not
Yeah.
going to do
That
that.
is true, but nobody is watching for those people.
But the moment they go on the show,
They're
they
going
have
to
to become
rebrand
SAG.
it.
Yeah,
It's gonna
exactly.
be-
Really?
Yes, once you've done one
They've
SAG
got to sign
project,
into... Wow.
they'll take it out of your check.
Wow.
Yep.
Your
Huh.
dues.
Yep.
Also, it's unfortunate that The Masked Singer also begins filming soon, and I also would not want to be their casting director
Yeah.
because they could do sports people as well,
Mhm.
but we've seen it in their ratings. If there's only sports people in The Masked Singer, no one really cares.
Yeah.
No one wants to watch that show anymore.
And they would have to do it just with like a one and done every single week. Every single person gets to do one performance.
Yeah.
Because
Yeah.
then they're in SAG and then they're
I mean, they're close. They're close enough to that. Last season, they had two
Yeah, there's
people
a
each
lot
for
of-
each episode.
Yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, I'm just like so interested and intrigued by how this is going to all
It's
play out.
fascinating,
Yeah.
isn't it?
What
Yeah.
it's to be- But I think it might make people make the shows come back faster.
I think so,
because now you're
too.
losing the actors too. Yeah.
I think so too. I also think that part of it is AGT jumped on the COVID bandwagon of we
Mhm.
need to keep this show going because it's the only thing that's on.
Yeah.
So I think that the producers are going to do whatever they can to keep the show on.
Yeah.
Even if it means like the audience is now the judges in some weird way.
Whoa.
That would be
Imagine.
cool. That would be cool.
That
Don't
would
have
be
Dan
cool.
in there. Like, everybody go home. You all suck.
I'm just saying, AGT, if you're listening to this, Billy has a SAG has
Yeah.
a SAG fee, but the three of us here,
Yeah.
I mean,
Julian,
hey.
Dan, me, Olivia, there you go. There's 4 judges.
I mean, I still want to see a sizable check, you know, for my likeliness.
They'd
but,
pay
you know,
you,
But
just
we
not
are,
SAG.
we are scabs. We will walk over any picket line. We will just scum it up.
But that would be cool. Imagine us in what is the Sonic room, the Sonic corner, and like
Oh my
hosting
God.
that.
I hate the
alongside-
Sonic room.
And then I'm
Well, I
still
mean-
sitting here at Town Recap like,
Well, okay. Here's the
Billy's
thing.
like, damn it. I had to be on Sister Sister as a kid.
See, we would hate it, right? But then once we do get the official
Speak for
like
yourself.
NBC, well, that's what I'm saying.
I
like,
wouldn't hate it.
but that's what I'm saying. Like the moment NBC's just like, hey, so we need you guys to come and like be the hosts for this thing for the live shows. Immediately booking my ticket,
I
going
was
there.
about to say, I'd
you
be
know.
there later that day. I'd be booking the same day.
Yeah,
ticket.
like that's it. You know, just going?
And then you cross those actors, and they just, when you walk across that line, they're going to be.
I'd cross those actors, flip my hair, and be like,
Yeah, I didn't know. Fran Drescher is now the SAG after president.
"Oh, I love her.
Really?
Yeah.
I love her.
Yeah, she's good people.
The
I
nanny."
mean, what an incredible person to have as your spokesperson.
Right?
Right?
This is what we want.
No, it's very funny. In like the videos of her talking about, she's pissed.
No, she's really mad.
She's pissed.
And then you hear her real
Good.
voice. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Which is funny. She does have that voice, but
Yeah.
not.
Not
on
really.
that level.
Up
yeah.
a little, yeah.
She
yeah.
pushes it out for the nanny, which is
Mhm.
respect. I loved that show growing up.
That was good.
I
I don't think I've ever seen The Nanny.
Oh,
never
it's
seen The Nanny?
So
good.
is the whole concept of it is just that they're taking care of like unruly children?
it not even? It's
No, she's just a very unlikely nanny. She's
Yeah.
very different to be a
Oh.
nanny. So she's
Yeah.
like cool. She's young. You know what I mean?
Okay,
So
okay,
it's
well
like,
that's good.
I'll show you it later because I love the theme song of it. The theme song encompasses the entire thing.
she was the first Sofia Vergara, where like
was.
it was like her character
Really?
was sexy and pretty, but her voice was like, oh my god, her voice is annoying.
Yeah.
Wow.
It was very New York, right?
Yeah.
It was a New York accent.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
okay.
Very nasally in New York.
Oh.
Yeah.
Brooklyn Italian, you
Yeah.
know.
Exactly. Yeah.
God.
I grew up watching that show on Nick at Night. That and Full House. Those are my two
Full
things
House
I
is
watched as a
always
kid.
on Nick at Night.
Oh my God. I've watched every single episode of Full House and
Yeah.
The Nanny because of Nick at Night. Yeah.
Which one was Full House? That's the one with the Lawrence brothers, right?
No, that's the one with Mary Kate and Ashley Olsen.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, John Stamos.
John
name. Okay, yeah. Okay.
Stamos and what's Uncle Joey's real name?
I'm sorry. All I'm remembering is, have y'all seen the meme, the John Stamos meme? No?
Nope.
No, they tried making the John Cena meme, but instead
Oh.
it's like, it's John Stamos. And it's just a
Oh my God.
montage of it.
That's pretty funny, actually.
It's so bad.
I ironically have a John Cena story, very short one.
Ooh.
Yesterday I was on TikTok and one of the nail creators I follow, she does like 12-inch nails. I don't know her name.
Mhm.
Super long, and she does like these very artistic nails that take like 12 hours as well. And she's like, I have to do my first celebrity nail ever based on who followed me on Threads. And in the background you hear do 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 do. And like she's like painting a
God.
photo of John Cena, but like it was a glow in the dark nail art type of thing. So
Mhm.
you don't see it. It's like you can't see me, and then you put it in the black. It was the coolest
Did you know that
thing.
too? That John Cena thing trend?
Oh, yeah. I mean,
I did not
I'm
know
a
it.
wrestling
I
fan.
had to tell
Yeah.
Billy about it. I was just like, oh yeah, it's like the John Cena meme. He's like, what John Cena
It's
meme?
his
I'm like,
walkout music.
oh no, it was, you were showing me a video. Was it that you were
I
showing
think
me
I
a
was
video?
showing you something and I didn't understand.
and I was just like, there's nothing there. Like, what are you showing me? And he's just like, what are you talking about?
yes, and
It's-
then explained
Yeah,
it.
it's his walkout music, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Well,
Yeah.
yeah, that's his walkout music.
Yeah.
But the whole like, he's not there.
He's
People
not in it.
pretend he's
Got it.
invisible. Yeah.
Got it.
There's this one commercial he's in about, I think it was TurboTax, I think. And it's
Of
the
course.
weirdest TurboTax commercial. That's like, you can now use your rent payment to like boost your credit score or something like that. Or I don't remember what it was. And there's a purple cow and he's dancing and stuff. And Julie and I were on the couch watching this thing and we're just like, what the fuck is going on? Why is there just like a bunch of people and an empty space in the middle just dancing around? Like, yeah. Anyway.
So
sorry.
the commercial is him not being there again, right?
Oh, no. The commercial.
Oh.
Oh.
Did you hear that?
Buzz,
I was about to say, I
buzz,
think it was my phone.
Grimble Bumble.
Maybe
Buzz,
not.
buzz.
Yeah, it was like, okay.
Maybe not.
They're on to us. NBC knows we had a mole.
The wire's being tapped.
Oh, no.
We're now tapping you. Continue with the podcast. Oh, thanks,
Oh,
NBC.
wow. Thanks.
You are now listening to the recap room.
Hello, everyone. Welcome to the Recap Room, your go-to podcast for the inside scoop and hot takes on all of our favorite shows. We have a special guest here. We have Billy Blanks Jr.
Billy. What up, y'all?
Billy.
I'm so glad to be here.
And then we have Corey. And
Hey,
we have
everyone.
Dan.
Less special, but still guests.
I
Yeah,
woke
really.
Up, I had 5 shots because I wanted to come see you guys.
No, you have to specify 5 shots of espresso.
Yes. Oh, somebody's thinking I had 5 shots of vodka before I came today.
So
No.
Billy's a maniac. He's got a venti caramel macchiato with 5 shots of ristretto. Ristretto shots. If any of you go to Starbucks and order ristretto shots or have worked at a Starbucks, it's a finer shot, but it's got more caffeine. And one pump of caramel. At least you got the caramel.
So if
Only
I'm
You know,
talking
one?
fast, I apologize.
Only one?
Because he needs a bit of sugar as well.
Fun fact: did you know caramel macchiatos don't have caramel in it? Like
What?
It's just the caramel drizzle.
Yeah.
Really?
It's pumps of vanilla they
Not caramel. I thought it was.
Nope.
I'm
I
bothered
was
by
about to
that
say,
because I love
Julian,
caramel.
I need your Starbucks experience
Oh.
later today. Give me a recipe.
Here we
I need
go.
to make this
Sidetrack.
at home.
Real quick, could I
Corey
get sued
hearts
for
her
this if I give
Nespresso.
a recipe? No?
No.
Okay, cool. All right.
He says, knowing that I'm not going to get sued.
Wait.
Google it.
No. I was
Before I get Howard down
gonna get my
neck.
notes
It'll make the
out.
video go viral.
Jesus.
All right, my notes.
We got sued by
say
Starbucks.
Macchiato.
Oh, you're right. I thought you were Googling if I could get sued. No,
No,
she's just
I'm
writing down. She's like, screw if you get sued. I just need to make sure I get this
You
recipe.
got this. Tell us this
Okay.
I want to make it from home.
For a grande caramel macchiato.
Which is how
you-
many ounces?
12.
16? Probably 12.
It's a 12 ounce.
12
No. 12, 16. Yeah, 16. You're right. It is 16
ounce.
ounces.
Okay, I wrote it down. Thank you.
Okay. Oh God. See if I remember this. 4 pumps of vanilla.
4 pumps of vanilla.
For those of you listening, he's doing the hand pump
Yes, he
motion,
did.
which is
One,
quite
two,
4
adorable.
pumps of vanilla.
That was cute.
2 shots of espresso.
Does it have to be a specific type of espresso? Like it's not the blonde or
medium
whatever?
roast. You can substitute for blonde if
Okay.
you want. Just medium roast Starbucks espresso.
Okay.
Then what you do is, wait a second.
He walked into this with such confidence.
It's a
and now
macchiato.
it's crumbling.
No. Delete that. Sorry.
Do the pumps again. We gotta
I've
do
All
the
done
of
pumps
this,
them?
yeah.
I'm deleting all of
Sorry.
it? Okay.
Sorry. 4 pumps of vanilla.
I didn't need to delete the 4 pumps of vanilla. I see.
it's so
Sorry.
cute.
Okay.
Steam 2% milk.
Steam 2%.
Queue up 2 shots of espresso and then put it in a separate cup. Shot glass.
Espresso. Separate cup.
So now you pour the 2% into the cup with the 4 pumps of vanilla,
And you're still separating these shots?
and then you pour the shots over afterwards, right on top,
Okay.
and then you grab your caramel drizzle and you drizzle the top
I see.
once horizontally, once vertically.
Cool.
Boom.
So that's all the caramel that's in it?
That's all it is. That's all the caramel that's in it.
That's
So
interesting.
there is
Wow.
no caramel in a caramel macchiato except for the drizzle. All you're getting is vanilla.
Unless I
You're
go
welcome.
on and I put caramel syrup in there, right?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, exactly. So I think, but I don't know why it's like that. If it's a
Call it a
caramel-
vanilla macchiato then.
But I think, you know what I think it is? I think it's just a regular macchiato with caramel drizzle. So the caramel does come from the drizzle.
Wow. Well, thank you for that.
No problem.
I
But
wrote
yes.
it down. It's in my notes next to your other
So now
secrets
you've
you've told
learned
me.
how to make a caramel macchiato. You guys can get hired at Starbucks.
Please,
Guys, I will be
Howard,
making it with my Nespresso at home. So
Howard, I was a proud partner. Please do not come after me. Thank you. Pay your workers as well. Thank you. Anyways, so we're back here, and I say Billy is important here because Billy was at the show that was aired.
Yeah.
And
you can see him
you
in one of the videos.
Yeah.
It's great.
For
My
like
head.
2 frames.
Totally. It's like 1, 2. Head, kind of blurry head. You can
Just
see
a-
Colby more.
You see the shine.
You see the gleam of the head. Wow. So how was that experience, Billy? Like, what was it like? You know?
So I've been to taping before, but I didn't know that they did what they do by separating stuff so much. You know what I mean? Because basically everything I saw on the episode was broken down to different episodes.
I see.
And it was actually the taping for me that this one was annoying because somebody I had there, I felt should have done better. And so once things kind of went sour, I was salty for the rest of the time.
And it's funny, we've mentioned Mason in the podcast plenty of times.
Yeah.
And so everybody's just like, who's this Mason?
Who's Mason?
Who's
Who's
Mason?
Mason?
Who are you
Probably like
talking
the
about?
last episode they're going to play.
If
you know?
you wanna tell us and like,
Yeah, Mason is somebody that we found here at Talent Recap, made a couple of videos on him. We helped him get on the show, got him an audition. All we can do is get the audition, and then you see where it goes. And he got on instantly. They said they love him. He went directly to the producers, to the network. And then even when he got there, they were like, we have all the people, Terry Crews only interviews 3 people. And he was one of the ones to be chosen to be interviewed by Terry Crews and his mom. They surprised his mom, all that stuff. And so, of course, you're thinking he's going to make an episode.
Yeah.
But Simon couldn't talk that day, and Simon was not in the best of moods, to be honest. And so yeah, it just was different. But yeah, that was Mason, and he got on, but didn't make it through. 2 yeses, 2 nos.
And are there more auditions?
yeah,
There, one more, two more,
The live shows start on August 22nd.
apparently.
My goodness.
So maybe he'll come up on
So
another.
he could still.
Yeah, there's the possibility of it.
So
Well, fingers crossed, because he is amazing.
Do you think
Yeah.
Simon?
Such a
Oh,
good
Simon would re-record his lines and then be put in. Which that's another
I
thing
mean,
we
it
just
could
recently
happen.
found out.
We might get to that later.
I'm only saying no for this because I would think Mason would have gotten some type of
Yeah, they'll tell you if you're going to be on an episode,
they would have told him.
but they'll tell you if you
But if they're
have
changing
a resource, like a
Yeah.
something of substance. But if you're on the episode and they're going to kind of dog you, or they're just going to kind of montage you, they won't tell you.
Right.
Wow.
So, but that's the thing. If they were to have Simon's comments come out of it, I feel like Simon's not going to change I don't want to give it away, but he's not going to change his mind.
Yeah.
They're not going to let him change his mind.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
those of you who are listening, Simon did not speak, and we found out last week. So Lavender got the golden buzzer, and then we saw him speak, and he did not speak. I was sitting in the chair. He didn't say a word because he could not speak. And so we are investigating how they did that.
Yeah, we're thinking that they masked him in. For any of you who are video editors, we're thinking that they literally copied and pasted him into a video from a separate taping.
It's really funny too because if you look at the audience is fully changing throughout the episode.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
Every single time.
So for those of you who want to watch that audition again on the AGT official page.
Yes.
And look at
0.25 speed.
oh, right. Look at the audience, look at the different cuts, and then look at the judges' table. Specifically the bottom side. The bottom.
Which is the weirdest part of it all, because if you are masking him in, you don't need to. The table's the same.
You just have to mask.
cut so
around.
weird.
Yeah.
Isn't that weird?
I don't understand.
We
that.
should be editors for them.
I thought you were about to say we should be
just-
editors. I'm like,
They
you guys
could have
are.
just had his face. Like they could have just did a close-up shot. Why do we need all this? Because why
Absolutely.
the extra work? You know,
Yeah.
but who knows?
I don't know.
But I feel like, to be honest, that comment that he made during Lavender, he has said that exact wording to somebody. And I feel like if we took Research Queen over here, Detective, if somebody went back and looked at episodes from different seasons, you'd go, that's who he said that to.
Oh
Because
my
it's the
God.
whole thing. I'm like, it's very reminiscent, that speech. So I
I would
feel
like
like
to
they,
clarify my research duties are mostly related to text.
Detective.
Text.
Oh,
Not
true.
videos.
Okay.
It's mostly text because if I can just go on a website and click Command F to
Mhm.
find that, it's much easier and people don't put that in.
I mean, really, if we wanted to start a detective business, we could, based on our past experience
Oh,
this
yes.
week.
Oh, yes, we totally could.
That is a story we will not be telling on the podcast. Sorry, guys. It's
God.
been a wild week here at Talent Recap, but
Been a
we're very
very
happy
wild
to be
week.
here right
Yes,
now.
we are.
But yeah, I was saying to Billy earlier, it would be such a fascinating. I think as a professional video editor, I think it would be fascinating to be in the edit room.
Yeah.
To
100%.
see how
They piece,
puzzle like an episode ends up being. Like this audience shot is actually from 3 weeks prior, or
Yeah.
'cause it must be, like I say, such a Frankenstein's monster, just stuff shoved in wherever it'll fit.
And they're very prepared because, like, even the episode I was there, it was Heidi's golden buzzer, but Howie also did a cut, like they did a cutaway of his golden buzzer, like 4 times. We had to pretend he hit the buzzer and he ran up to the stage and we all just stand up a bunch of times. So somebody there is knowing, oh, we still need to capture this from this
Yeah.
angle. We got to do whatever, you know what I mean? And they use the different audiences for those
Probably
moments.
have,
So
a super detailed shot list.
Yeah.
That's really what it
Yeah.
gets down to. It's probably just a checklist
Yeah.
at the end of the day.
And probably having an editor kind of looking over it, doing maybe like kind of half rough cuts as they're going through of like, yeah, this shot we didn't get that very well, or the framing wasn't very good, so we need to get that again on another day. But yeah, it's so
Or even if it's like they're filming at, what time were you there? It was like what, 2 to 6?
yeah, I think we were there around 2 o'clock. Yeah.
Their editors probably work 6 to 10 or something
Yeah.
like that.
Yeah, but you know what's weird too is most shows that are taped live, like So You Think You Can Dance, when you
Yeah.
go to that live taping, they do a rehearsal of the full show and the judges watch it, but they're not
Really?
allowed to say anything. So they watch all the performances and then they take notes, and then like the contestants come forward and stand there like they're receiving the notes, but the judges say nothing to them. So when the show airs, they know what they're going to say.
That
So
makes
it's done. But the thing is that they also, the editors are doing a live to tape mix. So what's weird is for this show, I was wondering, they're not doing a live tape mix because none of the stuff on the episode that I saw was part of it. So there's nobody doing a live. If this was to air tomorrow, here's an edit, because they're just doing all separate parts.
Yeah.
Right.
So interesting.
Absolutely fascinating.
Yeah, I want to sit in that room too to see what's going on.
NBC, let us host your Sonic room or the Sonic corner,
I would
and
love
then
to
sit
do
in the
that.
editor's room.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Pretty cool.
That's all we ask.
Yeah.
And I'd like to have a conversation with Simon Cowell.
Oh, God,
I don't know what I'd say to him, but I just want to talk to him.
I mean, from your experience speaking to Howie
It's
Mandel,
nothing.
I don't think you'd say a lot.
I didn't say anything.
Was
no.
it that bad?
Yes.
She froze. No,
I
it was
didn't know I
Why?
froze. I just kept smiling and I was like,
No, it was so funny because we were all sitting there and it was just a moment of like, Dan made a comment and was just like, oh, is that the big man right there? Is that
and I'm
that
sitting there
Howie?
thinking, this is not happening. This is because Elliot told me earlier in the day, he goes, oh, well, Howie probably won't come out. Like, because I was like, oh, like, what are the odds? I'm just curious.
Just got to be prepared for
What
it.
are the odds that Jacqueline brings her dad on? And Ellie goes, probably not going to happen. Howie stays out of everything related to us because of all the bad connotation with it.
Yeah.
God.
And I'm like, okay, cool. So I'm not expecting it because I'm like, Ellie told me. Ellie's usually right. Ellie wouldn't do me like that.
Uh-huh.
Right? So I'm like, Ellie, it was right. Howie Mandel's not coming on. As soon as I hear Dan say, is that the big man? I'm like, I'm screwed. I'm like, I am screwed.
But even then, we were just like, there's no way Howie's going to come on. And then Jackie's like, you want me to go get him?
Yeah.
And we're like, no, he's busy. And she's just like, no, it's fine.
And then
Dad,
he walks on
come
and he
on
goes,
over.
oh, hey. And I'm like, I'm like over here
She
thinking,
just can't hide anything.
in my head, I'm thinking, oh my God, don't look like the deer in headlights. Don't drop your jaw. Keep smiling. And my watch is like buzzing because Ben is texting my entire family being like, get on the live if you're not watching it. Corey's talking to Howie Mandel. And I'm sitting here like, no, I was not talking. I did
That is
not say a
hilarious.
word to that man.
Where was I at?
You were in
You
Japan.
were in
Japan.
Japan. Missed your
I was
opportunity.
about to say, it was a Dan and Corey
That's
show.
hilarious.
Throwback to when I hosted the show more than you last season.
Yeah.
Let us know if you missed the lives.
We missed the live.
We
Yeah,
missed
we
the
missed
lives.
Missed them.
And the chaoticness that was
Oh,
going
God,
on.
it was
God.
chaos and
At
fun.
least I can walk home now.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah.
I don't know though. At that time of night, I don't think you want to.
Oh, that was so
I mean,
much
it's not
fun.
that bad.
The stress of it.
Oh yeah, the stress is fun.
Anyways, let's move on to our segment of Slay or Nay, where we say if we liked the act or if we didn't like the act that was presented, and then we're going to go ahead and break down all of the acts. So let's start with Slay or Nay. All right, Slay or Nay. Mariandrea. Mariandrea.
was waiting for that
I
last
didn't
name.
wrane a last name.
There is no last
And then there's
name.
none. You're right.
Okay.
Who are you
Is
going
it,
to
is
first?
it Slay?
Nay.
Oh. Oh,
I'm
Billy.
mad at you. Slay.
Wow.
Double slay. I take her nay away.
Double slay. I also say slay. Yeah. All right. Next
I'll
one.
get into that.
82nd Airbourne Chorus.
Nay.
Damn. We're already getting to weird
Oh,
territory
jeez,
here.
here we
I was
go.
gonna say slay.
Nay.
I don't say slay often to choruses, but I like this one. So
Me
slay.
too. That's
All
how I
right.
felt too.
Can't wait
Yeah.
to talk about this
Yeah.
one.
All right. All right. Artem the magician.
I'm going to say Slay.
Slay.
Nay.
I say absolute slay. I take Billy's nay and do a double slay.
This is good. No
Yeah.
entire
Yeah.
agreement on any of these yet. This is good.
All right. Mose.
Slay.
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 haven't
That's what I was gonna
I
do.
was gonna say nay just to fool you guys, but you know, no. All right.
This is like a dance montage of 3 different
Yeah.
groups. I think they all went through.
So we can go.
I don't think it's worth it because like sorry guys, if you're listening to this, sorry. They didn't show enough of you guys.
So you know what? We'll the dance montage as a whole. We'll
That's
do
what
a
I'm
Slayer.
thinking too, yeah.
So I say slay. You know.
I say slay.
I'll say nay just to be interested. I mean, I was kind of nonplussed by the whole thing.
I'll say I didn't see that one.
Oh, okay. That is okay. All right. Next we have Oswaldo Colina.
Nay.
Nay.
That's hard,
Slay or
guys,
nay?
because it was a yay. it was fun, but it wasn't. Yeah, it was. It's in the middle.
So we
What
could
is
say slay or whatever.
Slay or whatever.
Slay or whatever, though.
Yeah,
Yeah.
slay or
okay.
whatever. Okay.
Why did I sound British when I said that? What was that? I
You just
didn't mean to
copied
do
me
that.
too much. Whatever. I didn't really like it too much.
I did not mean to do that.
I would say nay. Yeah, I'm gonna say.
Aw.
All right.
Oswald.
Sorry. All right. Trent Toney.
Nay.
Slay.
Nay.
Slay or whatever.
Yeah.
It's just
Yeah, we gotta talk
Awkward.
about that one.
yeah. Puppet Simon and the Cowbelles.
I'm going to say nay.
Slay.
Nay.
Slay. Yeah. Slay or whatever. All right. Duo Desire.
Slay.
I was about to say, before anybody says anything, I wrote in this one, warning in advance, I will argue if your comment is just another aerial act. So this is a golden slay for me.
I will go with her. Slay. Super slay.
Wow. So we've agreed so far on just 2.
Yeah.
Wow. Okay. This is going to be an interesting episode. Presley and Taylor.
Nay.
Slay.
Like the country singer girls.
Hell nay.
Nay. How do you say it in a country accent?
I think it's just a horse, isn't it?
So bad. But yeah, nay. All right. Andrew Stanton.
Yay.
I don't remember who this is. Who is this?
He's the one that made you go, ooh!
Oh, yeah. The one I showed Billy to freak him out. Yeah, he's a slay.
It's a slay, but I didn't like it.
Slay. And then we have Lavender, our golden buzzer act.
I'll say slay.
Obviously slay.
Slay.
You looked hesitant there, Dad.
I mean, a little bit, but
Yeah.
I said slay.
well, maybe
Slay.
again.
Yeah. Slay. All right. Let's go ahead and break these down. This is going to be really interesting.
A lot of discussion to come.
All right. So let's start off with Mariandrea, the child dancer.
I just like the way you say her name.
Oh, thank you.
That's
It's-
pretty awesome.
Maybe the most
That's sexy.
beautiful name
Right.
I've heard
Right?
in a long time.
it is.
Mariandrea. That's how you know. But
Beautiful.
that's how you know it's a very Hispanic, Latina kind of very, I don't
They
know.
go on for a while.
Yeah, it rolls off the tongue. Very
Yeah.
nice.
Yes.
So it did throw me off when they didn't have a last name because usually it's like either 1 or 2 last names attached.
Yeah.
So why did you not like that? I just need to know
I
this
just
from
wasn't
the
feeling
start.
it, to be honest
She's
with you.
so good.
She was really good. I agree. I think it was one of those things where the press photos made me salty.
But what about
Why?
the act?
The press photos made me feel like she was going to be a contortionist, and she didn't really do that.
She did do some contortion.
But like very slight.
But there's some of the stuff that she did, like the on her neck and then jumping up, like those are really hard things
I
that she
know.
did. And
I
she
respect
didn't
the
just dance,
act.
she acted.
She did.
To pose a counter argument.
Mm-hmm.
So I understand you're disappointed about her not doing contortion, but she did say she was a dancer.
Yeah.
She
Yeah.
didn't say she was a
But the
contortionist.
press website didn't say that. And that's where I
They
get
called her
mad.
a contortionist?
They didn't call her anything, but they showed only photos
then you
of the
assumed.
contortion.
Yeah. So she is being penalized for your
For
assumptions. And
Oh,
you
this
know
is
what
how
they
this
say
one's
about
gonna go.
Are we wrong? No, but you assumed she was a contortionist.
To be honest, on the press website, every single week I go on and I'm like, who's the most interesting people of the episode? And I didn't think she was one of them. That's
then
what
we
I
should
thought
have
it
backbended
was.
in the-
But surely you should
Yes.
make your opinion more on what she actually did as opposed to a
I
preconceived notion that
didn't-
you had about her.
But here's the thing. Here's the thing. My original thought of whether she was going to be the best of the episode or not was correct. She wasn't. She was the first. She was the first person. Everybody forgot about her by the end.
But I put her up there. She was one of my favorite because I feel like she had
was really
fire.
good.
She was good. And it's hard to be a solo dancer on that show.
I agree.
Yeah.
And to hold that stage, and she held that
Oh
stage.
my God, yeah.
You know
I
what I mean?
agree. And she was very good, but they
Mhm.
put her in a bad spot. And because
Yeah.
of that, she didn't shine throughout the night.
I think because of her age, her professionalism, like you can
Yeah.
tell she dominated that stage.
Yeah, she's
From-
crazy.
Yeah, like
So you think you can dance, she would win, by the way.
yeah.
Mm.
Oh, absolutely. Because it's
Too bad that show's been canceled for the time being.
oh.
Oof.
But yeah, there's this thing of like you can see it in her face and the way she carries herself, and like I mean I'm not a dancer by no
Oh,
means
hey,
necessary.
don't put yourself down, Julian. We've seen you. Come on.
We've seen him shake his booty.
The Irish step dance you taught me that
I
was
was about
pretty
to
cool.
say, Julian can
He's
Irish
actually
step
really
dance.
The country of Ireland says, "Oh, Julian, you're a fine dancer."
Well, that was good, Dan.
The country of Ireland and part of Amazon. But yeah, no, it was interesting because you can see it. She's very passionate about it. She's
Mhm.
very I don't know. Again, you can tell when someone's really kind of like enthralled or very like in the moment in their things. I see this a lot with musicians.
Yeah.
Those musicians that get on. Oh, there was that guitarist, that old guy that got on. I think it was a few weeks ago, and he was
Oh.
playing a bunch of solo. What was his
Oh.
name? Oh my God,
You
what
had
was
it.
his name?
I called him the old dude on the podcast.
but you know
that
who I'm
week.
talking about, right? It was this old
It was
man.
the second week.
Old
was
kind of rocker guy.
the rocker guy.
Yes.
But you can tell when a guitarist or like some sort of musician is just like kind of playing, looking down at their fingers.
It was
They're not-
John Wines.
John Wines.
It was
How'd
John.
you
This
pull that
man-
out?
I was thinking about it. I'm like, what do I know about him? He is a guitar teacher, and that's where it came from.
Mhm.
And here's the thing, eyes closed, and he was feeling.
Yeah.
He was in it.
Yeah.
He was in it. Same thing with her. That's
Yeah.
that's exactly how I felt.
Yeah, and she, again, like I'm really judgy of dancers, solo dancers on the show because I feel like it's not the show for solo dancers. And I was like, okay, she did
Yeah.
that.
It's it's something that we've talked about before of like, is this like you say, is this filling up the stage? And then lots of dancers come out and do well. They're good dancers, but it's just one person on a very big stage. But I think, like you said it was a performance, and it really was. People talk a lot about dance being a storytelling device. And I think some people get that and some people don't. And even if you don't necessarily understand the specific story that she's telling, you know that she's telling a story.
Telling some kind of
And
story, yeah.
she kind of, I don't know. It's like she didn't make herself bigger, but with the facial expressions, she kind of drew the attention into her.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
So she kind of shrank the stage almost to like the focus is just on her.
Yeah.
And she is just in it.
And she
thought
technically
excellent.
was really good.
Yeah.
So, I give her huge kudos.
Excellent.
Corey, you feel
I have nothing else to
Regardless
say.
of those fools at the press website.
I have a lot of things I would like to talk to the press website about.
So we just need the press website to do better. That's
Yes.
like
I
the
need
way
a-
to get
I
there.
need a
Just
few
correctly label your act.
it would be nice.
She's a dancer, right dancer.
I was about to say that's all I want is
But
them
then
to write.
They're
what
using
they
that
are.
back bend probably looked like cool for the
It
photos.
looks
So
like it looked cool for the photos, but I thought I was getting like another Sophie Dawson.
The one editor who's just like, I thought the picture looked cool. I'm sorry.
sorry,
well,
Corey.
pick a better one next time.
All right, let's move on to our next act, the 82nd Airbourne Chorus.
I was the only. You and I both gave them a sleigh.
Yeah.
Dan and Billy did not.
Dan influenced me. I think.
What? Whoa.
Don't
whoa.
blame me.
Is this just coming from your guys' general hatred of choirs? Yes or no?
I actually don't mind choirs.
Yeah, I
Okay.
don't mind choirs.
So what was it about this choir?
I don't know. I just think
Is it too American for you, Dan?
the American, the pulsating radiation Americanness of it all is, obviously rankles a little bit with me. But I think it's more like, again, I'm not a big story person. I try not to put too much stock in who the people are and what their thing is before, because it's like, it's not America's Got Bravery, it's America's Got Talent.
Yeah.
Okay.
Right, and so
Yeah.
and like you overcoming the odds, that's not a talented thing. That's a brave thing. That's a
Yeah.
determination
I like
thing.
that.
Whatever, right?
Right.
And so I think if these people came out and sang, and they weren't wearing those uniforms, I don't think anyone would really care.
I don't think it's a choice. I think they have to wear those uniforms.
Really?
Yeah, but I know
Yeah.
what he's saying though. But he's just saying.
No, I get what you're saying,
without
but
it.
also I think if you're active military, you have to wear the uniform when you're
At
off
all
duty.
times?
Pretty sure, yeah.
Good Lord.
Pretty sure armies like that. I don't know about the other sectors.
Unless you get discharged, because like,
because that is like that for the army, isn't it?
I believe so. I mean, I have friends who are in the army.
Yeah.
Right.
And they have to always wear it.
I think that's what it is. You have to wear
Well, here's
it.
the question I have: do they have more than one, or is it just one stinky
They have
outfit
more
they
than
wear
one.
every day?
Oh no, I'm more than positive. Oh God,
They have more than one.
Just
it
wondering.
builds character.
But I feel the same way Dan does. I feel like would I sit through a 2-hour show of that? No, I wouldn't. I would.
Yeah.
I would definitely enjoy them, and I thought they were good. You know what I mean? But I don't know that it should like go to Vegas and sit there for. And that's how I kind of judged it.
All right. So since you guys have gone through all the hating that these two have
Go
given you
ahead.
guys, I will say,
USA.
I will say, I will
Oh my
say,
God, that was Daniel.
I will
His address
say,
is
I will say that after Daniel saying that, they do remind me a lot of Northwell.
Northwell
choir.
is who I was thinking of.
Yeah, they
yes.
remind me of Northwell
The nurse
choir
choir.
in that sense because they came up as like a bunch of nurses, and you're like, you do that every day when
Yeah.
these people come up and they're all prim and proper. I guess that's the correct way of
Mhm.
saying it. And like they're just straight army. Like they're completely army.
Yeah.
They're I don't know what the technical terms for everything are, so I'm sorry I'm about to like butcher this, but you know, they're doing everything that they're supposed to be doing in the army. And then the fact at the beginning where they kind of break the tension by making a joke,
hmm
is like where it humanized them, because
Yeah.
I feel like when it comes to the army, you'd never think like these are real people unless you know someone in the army.
Mm-hmm.
And I liked that aspect of it. I also liked the fact that not many people think like, oh, these people who are in the army, like, yeah, they chose to put their lives at risk for America.
And they can sing. Yeah.
And they can sing. They have other talents. They're doing other things. They're not just putting their lives on risk for us. There are tons of reasons why people go in the military.
Mm-hmm.
You know, that's what it gets down to.
Would you go see them in a full show?
That's another thing I was thinking of when it was on. I was like, you know, this is great and everything, but if they were to win, they can't do the Vegas residency. They're like needed in combat.
Well, they'll be out soon.
But I will say I agree with your point, and I think that's why I like it, because of the whole like humanizing factor. Because you see them, they're this like, when you think of military, when you think of army, you think this like clean cut, you know, kind of like you have to, like a square kind of, you know, you have to walk, talk, act a certain way. But then you see this other side of it, and it's like, wow, they're people, you know. And I have friends in the military, and again, these are people that they're all gamers, and these are some of the wackiest people I've met.
Really?
They're great, and I love them. I
Do you see the
absolutely
other
love
side?
them.
Okay.
Like, and so I see the other side. I could only imagine what they go through in their day to day. But literally, just like talking about their experiences online while we're gaming, I see a whole completely different side.
Yeah.
You know. So I'm pretty sure that's why, like, it has like a.
So it's the story's experience. It's the whole thing for you guys, more than just
maybe
the
that's
singing.
it too. Because I have a friend in the Air Force, and obviously that's a very different experience, especially because he never goes off the ground, if that makes sense.
Right. Yeah.
So I feel like it has to do with that too, because you meet so many, like when you know someone who's in the military, it's kind of a thing of like, you know how special that person is.
Right.
Yeah.
But no one else would see that unless they're not on duty.
No. Exactly.
Yeah. I think that's probably what it was, to be
Okay.
honest. That could be why.
Nobody mentioned how good they were at singing. Just
No,
saying.
they are great at singing though. I mean, it's
No, they were. That's just it, though. I wouldn't be
gonna ask the same
saying.
question.
They were good.
I wouldn't
They were
be
good.
saying this if they were bad. Let's
Yeah,
be
they
honest.
definitely weren't bad.
Yeah.
No, they weren't bad.
I also sat through their performance, which I don't sit through choirs.
No,
I
me neither.
don't like choirs,
Especially
you know?
when they're kids. They were not kids,
Yeah.
thank God. But I
again, it
hate
was-
kid choirs.
that
Excuse me, that's gimmick
charm.
infringement. I'm the one who doesn't like kids. Okay,
No,
come
no,
on.
it's when kid choirs try to sing a song from The Greatest Showman that none of them can hit the notes. That's what
Kids
kills
from the
me.
military.
The military, they can
Military
hit the
brass.
notes.
Yeah,
The military can hit the notes.
pretty cool.
Although I will say, guys, if you're listening, do not sing a song from The Greatest Showman. I will be very, very mad, and I will give you an A next time.
But again, I'm bothered because the song that Corey likes from The Greatest Showman is the B-side song.
Excuse you. Excuse you.
God, that conversation was so funny.
Excuse you.
What? Because I love that
It is
movie.
the
I'm
best
like, what
song in
song?
the movie. I don't know what you're talking about.
Everybody in the comments, if you're listening,
Tightrope.
is Tightrope the best song in The Greatest Showman? Please just
Tightrope
comment.
or never enough. Let us know.
Oh.
Thank you.
I will. Can I say one more thing?
Yes, go for it.
I love their song choice. My Girl by the Temptations is a very specific song.
Oh, yeah.
It's a difficult song to sing when you really think about it. And I saw Blake Shelton give it to a pair of people.
Blake fucking Shelton.
Yeah, on The Voice this past season. And I was like, why are you giving two folk artists a Motown song, dude? And that's also a song I grew up listening to.
I will say,
Great song.
having someone who traditionally does something and then and this relates, you know,
Yeah.
showing the different perspective of it or like the other side of it with like song choices, for example. If you have someone who's doing solely country and then you have them do pop,
Right.
you're really showing, like, at that point you have to show, if you're a singer, you have to be versatile no matter what
Right.
genre you're in, you know, you're kind of subjected to, because it's all the same principle. It's just a
Yeah.
matter of like, can you take little bits and pieces of elements and
Right.
use it towards your craft, which can make you more of a well-rounded artist.
Right.
So I don't know.
In that round of The Voice, I think it was more of Blake Shelton not knowing what to give those two individuals.
Also, the man wrote Corn, so let's be
Yeah, I was
honest.
like, just always go back to corn.
No,
it
it's-
always goes back
every
to
single-
Or
Corn.
as Daniel says,
Corn.
No, I'm happy to not see him on The Voice anymore because he either only got country artists or got pop artists and made them country. And I'm like,
yeah.
I'm like, are the standards this low for this show? All right, who's next?
All right, let's move on. Artem, the magician. Okay, so who said nay?
I did. Sorry.
Billy. All right, let's hear you.
It's
Explain
only because
yourself.
okay, I didn't get to watch the episode, so I was watching the YouTube video. So maybe because I didn't see a story, I just watched the performance.
They didn't give him a
And-
story.
Okay, well, I just saw flying cards everywhere, and I'm like, okay. So I think that's why. Was that all that the act was? Was there more to it than just
No.
like 1 card, 2 cards, 3
That's
cards, 4
it.
cards, 5 cards?
He. I will say, I gave him a hesitant slay really on this
Mhm.
one because
So
I think
more of
that
a slay or whatever, would we say?
I guess. I think that he deserved a longer set because you didn't really know what was going on.
Yeah.
But he was good at what he did, and that's why I said slay.
So that's why I guess because because I also watched them all back to back on YouTube, and then I was like, oh, I like this one, I don't like this one, and then when I saw that, I was like, okay, it wasn't bad. It just was kind of like next.
Yeah.
You're like, what's going on?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I will say, yes, I'm biased, but I'm also because of the fact that I know what he did was difficult.
Okay.
And I know the technique behind it. I know exactly how it was done.
We hear from the magic
Yeah,
guy. Here we
resident
go.
magician
Here's
here.
the inside track.
I'm not going to reveal anything, but it is hard to do what he did.
Mm-hmm.
It is very difficult
Right.
because there are many factors that are sensitive. There's a hint.
There's one out of the pants that was kind of crazy. I
Yeah.
was like, oh.
Oh yeah, that was also pretty cool. I don't know how he did that, and I'm
Mhm.
hoping that it wasn't the
He's
way
just
we
got a
all thought,
very
you know.
talented penis.
So I was like,
That's
how
what it
did
is.
he like just
He saw the Tenacious D movie, and he was like, "That's what I need to learn."
He's doing his push-ups.
Yeah,
It's
he's
fine.
doing his push-ups.
wow.
Oh God. But yeah, I don't know. I mean, I think that's what made me, and I just love goofy acts. He
Yeah.
seems like
Uh-huh.
a goofy person who's not taking it seriously, and it's like,
Mhm.
whoa, look at these things that are
Yeah.
happening, and you know,
And
I don't know.
sidebar, the head scratcher that was on my episode wasn't on.
Yeah.
So I don't know if
Oh.
that's coming up later.
No.
Probably
Or the fast
will.
reader.
probably
Probably will.
the fast reader. It's like that Family Guy episode. The fucking Peter. Did I show you guys the clip? I showed you
us,
the
yeah.
clip.
Oh, show me.
No, I don't
sure-
think so.
It's a moment where Peter Griffin was, I don't know, I think he got elected president for some reason. And Lois is
Sure.
like, how did you get elected president? And he's like, it's probably because I can just recite all 50 states in 2 seconds. And that's the sound he makes. And I'm pretty sure there are people that go into the video and they're like, so we're going to analyze and see if he actually did in this
Yeah.
moment. But, God.
That's funny.
But yeah, what did you think, Dan?
I thought it was great. We've talked about magicians a lot before in terms of, you know, you've got the two different elements of it. You've got one, this is the actual trick that's being done, and then two, this is the kind of the presentation of the trick. And I think the trick was fun. I mean, I don't think we would have appreciated it as much as you because we don't know how difficult
Yeah.
or easy it is. But I think the whole presentation of it was, and it was something different as well. Everyone's seen a million card tricks and whatever. Like the guy last week with the shoes, or the week before,
Oh, yeah,
doing the
yeah,
magic
yeah.
with the shoes. Never seen that before. That gets a plus point from me. So yeah, I think it was just something unusual. Like you say, it's goofy. He's having fun with it. He really liked his being able to suck it out of the air
Yeah.
thing. He did
That's
that about
hard.
4
I like his
times.
music
So
too.
difficult.
The music was good.
Music
as well.
was great.
Yeah. So yeah, I just thought it was a lot of fun, and he's the kind of act, because it was very short. I agree with
Yeah.
that. It's over, and you're like, oh, that's okay. This is just a one trick thing. But then you think, okay, so what are you doing next time?
Right. And
What else have you got? Because I think you've got some fun stuff.
But the fear is when they do that with somebody and there's no story and it's that short,
There won't be. a
they're
next
using him
time.
for that was a fun
Maybe.
performance, but he's not coming back.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? That's the only fear when you don't give somebody more time on a show like that.
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
That's why I wonder. I hope he does, because
Yeah.
then maybe it'll be fun for me.
But then again, it could be just one of those, like, he's not going to go on, but he's created this moment.
Yeah.
It's this great,
That's what it
fun
could be.
moment, and that he'll be able to make more money in Russia. He's Russian, wasn't he?
Yeah, I think
Eastern
so.
European in some
I
way.
think
Was
so.
it? Okay.
So he'll be able to go home and make some
Artem.
money. I was on America's Got Talent.
Artem is Russian, right? Yeah.
I think
yeah,
so,
I think
yeah.
so.
The only Artem I know is on Dancing with the Stars, and I think he's Russian.
Ching
Okay.
Vincent.
Yes.
All right. Well, let's move on to our next act that we all agreed on.
Whoop.
And we were happy about. Moss. Oh,
They were cool.
they were
Really
really
good.
good.
I loved them.
Really, really
They
good.
were really cool. I mean, I have respect for anybody who can play an instrument,
Mhm.
and it's not because I can't play one. I can play one very well.
Oh.
I used to play the clarinet, and
Really?
yeah,
So next
I
week on the pod, Corey's
I
going to
know.
be playing
I don't
the
have
clarinet for
my- I don't
us.
have my
Very
clarinet
well,
here.
Very
I know. I want to
well.
hear it.
I know.
Not just
I-
well.
You gotta
can
bring
show
it
you.
in.
I can show you videos. I have like
Okay.
I did. Okay. It's a
Maybe
little
we
flex.
could do a, like, in the episode of Friends when Mike says he's a pianist and he says there's no piano, and Phoebe says a real pianist wouldn't let that stand in his way. So maybe you just need to mime being a really good clarinetist.
Well, so
Of course, Phoebe said that.
so I started playing in elementary school, like many people. Middle school, I was in regular band and wind ensemble, and I did jazz band my in 8th grade, and that summer I taught myself how to play tenor saxophone.
Oh, very
Oh.
cool.
So I knew how to play tenor saxophone. I did that for about a year and a half, and then I stuck to just clarinet. And I did the wind ensemble at my in my high school, which got us a trip to Disney my sophomore year, and we did like a full national competition
Oh,
there.
wow.
And
Oh,
we
wow.
won our
Real player.
division.
That's really
Sounds cool.
Yeah, and then when I was in, I think it was still sophomore year, I did an honors band at a college for a
Mhm.
weekend. That was what I was going to show you. That one's really cool.
Okay. Yeah, show us.
But yeah, and then when I was a junior, I didn't want to be in the higher group anymore because it was hard.
And well, it's just sorry to sidebar you, but what I liked about them, first of all, TJ's show in Vegas, Mad Apple, they have all these like musicians that play and do what they did, and it's like these New Orleans, like black.
Yeah.
And I felt like they had this soulful thing, and they were doing dance steps and playing.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
that's why I really, really liked it. You know what I mean? Did you dance when you played the clarinet?
I sat in a chair. I was never in marching band.
Yeah.
Yeah, it had that marching bandy kind of
It did have a
vibe. You
marching
see
band
videos
vibe.
about these
Choreography.
crazy, ones in high schools and stuff that they must practice forever.
Was
But yeah, just
soulful.
a lot of energy, a lot of fun.
Yeah.
Great song
Oh, yeah,
choice.
absolutely.
Yeah.
I'll never get tired of listening to that song. Yeah, lots of fun.
Yeah, it was
See,
fun.
I thought was interesting about them, fun fact, is that a few weeks ago, I don't remember what episode it was, maybe 3 or 4,
Mm.
they had posted on Instagram that they were going to be on the show. They'd been told they were going to be on a different week. And then they must have pulled them last minute.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
That's got to be
That's that
nerve wracking
thing.
though. Imagine
Yeah.
like
Yeah.
we're gonna spend the next 3 weeks rehearsing. On week 2, they're just like, so we need you to come in tomorrow.
Yeah.
Like,
No,
That's crazy.
not even like that. Like they
They
had
already
been
taped
told.
it.
Oh, as in
Yeah,
they
they
were
had been
taped,
told
but
by the
just which one
producers,
we're gonna-
your episode's going to be on tomorrow. They posted about it on
okay.
Instagram, and then
It's
I was
not
like,
fair to
oh,
do that
that's
to people.
weird.
Ah.
It's
was
not
like-
fair.
Yeah, because I had one of my writers write a profile on them, and I was like, oh, well, they're not in the press photos, but they're saying that they're on next Tuesday. That's weird.
So odd.
So funny story. When I did Shark Tank, my episode was supposed to air on a certain date, and I did the Dr. Oz show when it was on,
Mhm.
and it was going to air whole separate date. So the day, and we wanted to, the whole purpose of doing is you want to sell your DVDs, and
Yeah.
so
Right.
we were trying to be prepared, and we had like a week's notice that we are going to have DVDs on our site, all this stuff. And I woke up one morning, and they were like, whatever the network, I can't remember, was on ABC, it's moving them to the same day. They said, so we're going to put it on so that Dr. Oz airs and the thing airs at the same time. So we were not prepared. And the reason why I'm saying it's not fair
Yeah.
is our site shut down because we didn't know you have to pay
Right.
for extra all this
Yeah,
stuff. And our
yeah.
site shut down from the time Dr. Oz aired to the time Shark Tank aired. So we
No.
lost all these sales. So
That's
for me,
sad.
I'm like,
God.
if they expected to be on it, then we're not. That's
Right.
that's
I
very
wonder,
frustrating.
is it just a matter of like network pulling the strings and being like, well, we need to make sure to do these like last minute, because I'm pretty sure it's just
Yeah.
they got their hands full on probably a bunch of other projects as well.
Yeah.
Not justifying,
Yeah.
but be a little bit more organized about that,
Yeah.
because then you
Yeah.
can really fuck with like the production.
Somebody
or, like,
else's
you know-
thing, yeah.
Yeah.
exactly. You know,
They don't really
Yeah.
care what happens.
It's human lives.
No, they don't care about that. They
I
have
mean,
a
as
goal.
long as
what
they're
they want to
making the
do.
money, you know.
Exactly.
Yeah.
But yeah,
So they were awesome.
Yeah.
they were.
Yeah. Moss, really good.
really
And I
good.
thought it was strange that it's that capitalization that East Asian people sometimes do. A lot of professional wrestlers do it as well. But I thought it was funny because for the filmmakers out there, MOS, of course, on a film set stands for
Yeah.
What
Is it motion on screen, or is it just
it's mit out.
What is it?
That's like some German phrase, but it basically means doing a take without recording
without
audio.
any audio? Mhm.
So it's like, so there's no audio, but they do audio.
Wait a minute.
my
So
God.
MOS, that's what that
Yeah.
means?
So if
Yeah.
someone says, we're going to film this one
Like an
MOS.
There's
Wow.
It means
no
they're
audio.
not recording
We
any
just
sound.
learned something. That's awesome.
MOS, that's one thing. ADR means that you're going to re-record that in
Later.
a studio.
Mhm.
I'm not going to break it to you, Billy.
You knew it? I didn't.
I have a degree in film.
Okay, I didn't know. Sorry. Well, I know you have a degree in film. I just didn't know what that thing was.
Yeah.
I had to unfortunately take production classes, and I'm the last person that wanted to be in those classes.
Oh, production classes are so much fun.
I was going to say, they're fun. I would love that.
Well, they're fun when you work with people who know what they're doing.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Thank you. Key phrase. Key phrase.
Was it the teachers who didn't know what they were doing or
Oh,
the
the teachers
students?
knew what they were doing. Students, it's because we weren't.
No, you
We
know,
were pushed. We just weren't pushed in the right direction.
you know what it is? It's these classes or these majors that people take because they're like, well, I'm going to get an easy A.
Yep.
Oh.
And then they're mixed in with the people that are like, this is what I want
That I
to
seriously
do.
want to do it.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah. Okay,
So
that'd
you'll
be
get a little
frustrating.
bit of people are just like, this is fun. And people are just like, I'm trying to do this for my career. Like,
And then,
Yeah.
and then you get a third
Get your
set
shit
of
together.
people. You get a third set of people if you're not in a program where you're in tracks. So like mine didn't have a track, for example, but like I was told that I was on the unofficial track to be doing the screenwriting portion of it. So I'm sitting here like I'm the screenwriter of the group. So I was always like, everybody was like, I want to be in your team so I don't have to write a script. I'm like, deal, cool. I don't want to be on set. That's how I would do it.
I mean, it makes sense.
Yeah,
you know?
that's exactly how I would do it. I'm like, I don't really want to sit on a set because I'm not interested in that part of it.
Yeah.
And then I ended up acting in half of the projects instead. So that was pretty much the same thing.
But it makes
of
you
me
well-rounded.
still
You know,
being on the
you
set.
learn a little bit about everything, and I think that's
Exactly.
the best part about it.
But
'cause
just
then,
think some
you
people
know.
are in there for grades. I'm like, or just to get an easy grade.
It's true though. It's 100% true.
Sidebar. Sidebar. I knew of someone.
And so this is a sidebar on a sidebar.
On a
I
side
think a sidebar.
plus bar.
Sidebar, and then we'll get back on track. But I remember I was in one of my production classes, and we were doing this big project. Not going to name any names, but I remember we were all picking our roles or whatever. Right? Let's say, for example, they were just like, "You're going to create this. You have," and our classes were 5-hour long classes.
Oh,
Film
Jesus.
classes are 5 hours long.
5
Mine were
hours?
not 5
Yeah.
hours long.
Production,
Oh, wow, okay.
my production classes, my film theory classes, my cinematography, every
Not
film
sitting in
class.
the same chair.
In the same chair
Yeah.
for 5 hours.
Oh
my
my
film
God.
genres classes was 5 hours. It was mainly like, we're
It's
going
a
to talk
flight to
about
LA.
this, take 10
That's
minutes.
so painful
Yeah.
because my classes where we have an hour and a half teaching the material and then we have a optional screening if we're watching a movie that night.
Well, that's the thing. So most of the time it was like, we're going to have a screening of a film of
Yeah.
some sort. But it was literally like, I remember when we got to French New Wave, I was hating myself because it was like right after lunch, you're in there from 1 to 6 p.m. My commute back home from Brooklyn College was like an hour and a half. So I'm getting home at like 7:38. And I'm in that chair watching a film that had no plot whatsoever because that's French New Wave for some reason.
Mhm.
And I'm just there like nodding off. But anyways,
that
we're
was
in
me
this.
with experimental film.
Oh God,
I
it's
hated
just-
experimental.
fucking hate it.
Yeah.
There was no point to it. But anyways, yes. So I remember being in this production class, and they were just like, "You're going to create a scene of this, pick your roles and stuff, and we're just going to have everyone work as a team, and then we'll come back, and then we'll sit in the editing room and work on what you have, right?" And so, fine, we're assigning certain people different roles and stuff, and there was this one person in particular that was just like, "I'm going to take the audio equipment. I know what I'm going to do." And we're like, and I'm like, "Great." Someone here who is very happy to like, just hammer this thing
Oh,
and like,
God.
and audio is a thing that's hard.
Yes.
Most people do not want to do that, but it is the one job that you can get in the industry right off the bat if you commit yourself to it. Anyways, cameras were up, we were ready to roll, we're prepping. And so we're just like, all right, cameras are up, sound speed, audio. And I look over to the guy and he's like, "Yeah, I've been trying to figure out how to work this thing." I'm like, "Then why the fuck
Whole
did you?"
time?
The entire time, I'm like, you had the confidence to say you were going to tackle this, but you didn't ask anyone how to work it.
See, I thought
Like,
I was a little
what?
afraid
Oh
over
my
here.
God. At least you didn't start taping and not get recorded.
No, but
I
we
was
were
a little
ready to-
afraid for this story because as soon as you were like, "Yeah, there's always that one person who always says that they'll do the audio," and I'm like, "Crap, that was me."
No, but
I'm
that's
like,
okay.
"Crap, that was the easiest thing for me to do." I did
Oh.
not want to do the camera work. I did not want to hold a light. I wasn't even really holding the boom. I had someone else do that for me.
I
I
will-
was just click and go.
But here's the thing. I will say for one of my, and I've been that person before as well, where like for one of my other, for one of the other short films that I was doing, I was a sound person and I didn't really know what I was doing. And I asked a little bit and it was a thing of like, you have to learn as you go.
Yeah.
So I can understand that as well with the proper training. Fine. But like, at least ask, at least talk to someone.
say
and ask.
something.
Yeah. Say something.
Wait till
you know,
right to the minute and go,
you
I don't know what I'm doing.
like the timidness is not going to run there. But anyways, let's move on
So
to our
Moz
next.
was good.
Yeah.
Moz was good.
And back to it.
Back to
What do we have? It's like ADHD. We're like the movie Up, the dog. Squirrel.
Oh, squirrel. Hi there. All right, let's move on to Dance Montage, which consisted of 40 Pounds, Let It Happen, and The Zoo.
They were all good and they made it through, but it was nothing to call home about.
I will say, I was impressed by 40 Pounds because 40 Pounds was your typical, and if you're from New York, this is your typical Showtime act on the subway. But we never see this on the show.
Yeah.
And I'm impressed that he was like, you know what? I am going to take my talents to the next level, get that exposure.
Yeah.
Good for him.
Yeah.
And he's from Brooklyn, right?
Yeah,
You know?
it said
Yeah.
Brooklyn.
Yeah. I think
We
that's
have to
really
give him a
impressive.
shout
A
out.
solid 9 seconds of exposure there.
Yeah, right.
1, 2, 3.
But it's still pretty cool. I think, having
you can get
that
10 seconds if you want to
confidence.
be one of our shorts.
yeah, no, but having that confidence to go up and be like,
Yeah.
you know what, everyone else is doing this on the subway. And some people I've seen and I've talked to some people on the subway. I remember performing these acts, and people in New York are very annoyed by showtime because it's just like, oh fuck, I have to sit on this train, and like no one wants to be bothered in their commute, and then everyone like they're using the subway as their jungle gym, but they take the time to learn this.
Yeah.
It's a lot of core strength, and I've talked to them. I'm like, where do you go to practice? And they're like, we just go to one of the playgrounds and just practice on the monkey bars and stuff. And like, I think it's impressive that they take the time to do this.
To try to learn it.
And again, for someone to go on AGT and to put themselves out there.
Yeah.
Good for you, man.
I also wholeheartedly believe it's the New York City effect where like if I'm having a bad day, I go home and somehow there's always a mariachi band playing out of my subway every single time just to give me that little, like, come on, give us
I love
a
mariachi
smile.
bands.
Yeah, I do too.
I love them.
enjoy them and I respect them, but they're just a little too loud for me at 6:30 p.m. Like I don't need that right now, especially when I've had a bad day and I don't want to have to deal with the commute. But they're nice.
Busking is hard.
It is.
It's tough. It's tough work.
I respect it, but that doesn't mean I want to hear it. It's also weird when you're coming from Brooklyn to Brooklyn and you're coming from Lower Brooklyn to like, I guess, Northern Brooklyn, and there's a mariachi band. I'm like, where are you?
Anywhere from
where are you
Brooklyn to
coming
Brooklyn
from?
is just a hassle for some reason.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Right? Like I do not understand.
No.
Like there are times where I need to get to Williamsburg, and it's like, why the fuck do I have to go into the city to come back into Brooklyn? Like, shouldn't it just be a straight commute?
And these stupid trains that go, we're no longer a D. We're
Yeah.
now a Q. And you're like, what the heck?
I'll never forget Julie had that moment of like, she was coming back home from work. She had to be out, and she calls me and she's just like, so I'm at Bowling Green and the 5 says it's not going to Atlantic Ave, but I have to wait for another 5. And I was like,
It's
welcome
just
to
so
New York
weird.
City.
You can't, like, can you imagine you get an Uber driver and you're like, can you take me to Grand Central? And then they're like,
How about Penn
We're going to take you
Station?
to Penn Station. We're like, no, but I need to go to Grand Central.
Yeah.
But I can just take you to Penn Station. You can take another Uber, which is
Yeah.
probably going to cost probably the same amount.
Yes.
I mean, there's
So
about
weird.
10 blocks between the two of them. You could walk.
but
That's
I'm
what they
just-
tell you.
And then
So
the danger
crazy.
is when you're just listening to your music and it just, you don't even realize. And then he's like, right, we're here. You're like, no, this is Penn Station. He's like, well, I told you. Did you tell me? Or was there a little announcement? There was like, oh, perfect. Okay, well, now I need to change.
That drives me crazy.
It's the worst part when nobody hears it, and then you take your headphone off, and it's just like, oh, maybe they'll say, maybe it was just me, and it's just.
Yeah.
It's just-
What is the point of that? How do you have this system that's supposed to be the best transportation system in the
Yeah.
world, and you can't still hear what they're saying?
It's fucking
I just want to go
ridiculous.
stop talking then. Don't
See,
talk.
That's why I don't listen to music on the train anymore.
Really?
Yeah, I don't listen to music on the train because I'm like, I don't want to miss this going express. I'm sitting down there this morning. I'm on the D to Brooklyn, and they're at one stop, and they go, "This is the D Express," and I'm like, "Is it though?" Because we're stopping at a stop
It
that's
is
not
now.
normally express. It didn't go express.
Oh.
In Manhattan, they're express.
I will say we should probably be nice to the train conductors only because of the fact that they're probably just as annoyed at the
Yeah.
system
Yeah.
as we are. Because I mean, they're just doing
Been
their
yelled at
job.
too.
You
I
know?
haven't
Yeah.
said anything mean about the conductor.
Yeah. Oh yeah, thankfully no. I mean, but I know there are people out there that are just like, fuck the conductor. It's their
Yeah.
job, and it's
I
like,
don't care about
well,
them.
not really. No, it's the system that's put into place.
They
They're not
always
giving them
they
these
always
new-
are good people. They see me
Yeah.
running down those stairs and they wait for me, and I
No, they get
appreciate
it.
that.
Oh, they wait? God.
Sometimes.
some of them.
They
Some
don't
of them.
wait in
Some of them are
Connecticut.
just like, I gotta get this thing on track, like, or else I'll get
Yeah.
mad people
Mhm.
yelling at me. So.
How did we get to trains, by the way? I don't know how we got
busking.
here.
Commuting Brooklyn,
Okay.
Williamsburg. Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
well, welcome to the trains.
in a series of rambling podcasts. I think this is the worst one I've done so
Oh
far.
yeah. But I feel like that's how it has to be at points, you know. So I say this as I'm going to be editing this episode.
Exactly, yeah.
Jesus
Sorry,
fucking
Julian.
Christ.
People are listening to it and they're like, this is only 20 minutes long. Julian's done an amazing job.
Jesus. All right, let's move on to our next favorite act. Oswaldo Colina.
Oh man.
Oswald.
I was the only. Yeah, I was
Why
a,
did you
a
say
slay or
slay?
whatever. I think.
because I saw this person originally when he was just a TikToker, and I remember going, "This is brilliant. These videos are funny." But I think the reason why it didn't work on the show is on his page the outfits change, the things you can see different
Yeah.
characters, and I think he was just taking off little pieces. So I think it wasn't as fun, but it actually, like, the other thing is, he was actually doing hard dance steps with his fingers. He did the samba with his fingers. And so I'm
Really?
like, I know that's, a lot of people can't even do that with their feet. So he was doing it with his fingers. And that was one thing
That's
that I'm
so
like, come on,
funny.
y'all. But I know it's not a,
It's
sit at AGT and watch for an hour.
It's interesting that you've seen him on TikTok because I've seen him on BGT and Spain's Got Talent.
Oh,
And
yeah, you said that. That's crazy.
BGT hated them, hated him.
Was Simon there?
Simon was the one that hated him the most. And then Spain loved him.
Mm-hmm.
But of course, Risto, who's like the Spanish Simon, hated him.
Yeah, of course.
I was like to Julian, I'm like, can you tell me what they're saying about this, please?
Oh yeah.
You guys didn't think it was fun though?
I thought it was fun.
I thought it was fun. You know, I wrote down in my notes that Heidi described it best. It's not $1 million act.
Yeah.
No.
That's the issue, you know?
Yeah, I don't know. I do think I have to stand up and have a little bit of a go at that kind of mindset, because I think there are acts that there are on the show, really good acts, that, because you think, right, what is a show that could support an hour's show in Vegas? A magician can be in Vegas, like a ventriloquist maybe can be in Vegas, a singer, maybe an acrobat, probably not, or a dance crew or something. So that's only like 5 or 6 different types of act.
Right.
And so I don't think you should be able to penalize somebody for not being one of those specific acts, because I think the world that he is going to go into, he's like, what's your ultimate dream? Oh, I want to do an hour act. Oswaldo, you're crazy. He's thinking, right, I could be part of some weird little cabaret show somewhere and I could come out and I could do 10 minutes and I could do some costume changes and that'll be fine. And he can make a career doing that.
Make a career,
And it's so interesting you're saying that, because I feel like with that comment, Heidi was forgetting what their own Vegas show is, because it's a huge, it's literally like 10 minutes for each person.
Yeah.
Like Celia Munoz on there right now, and like she probably only goes on for 30 minutes.
I think that I've always thought that should be the goal with AGT. Your goal as a performer is to get to that live, is to get to the final. Yeah. Because if you're a finalist, you're on the show. So that final just becomes, look at these amazing acts. Wouldn't you want to come and see this in Las Vegas?
Yeah, because I would be more inclined to go see a show of a bunch of really cool acts.
Absolutely.
You know what I mean? I don't have to see an hour of that one person, you know?
Having said that, it was a nay for me, because I just think when he came out and they'd see the thing, I was like, all right, this is something weird, it's something cool, it's something really different. But I just don't think he did well enough.
That was very mean. You just kind of like, if Oswaldo was listening to this, he's like, you're getting ready to you took him up and then you slammed him down. Having said that, goodbye.
That being said, he was terrible. So no, I don't think he was terrible. I just don't think it ultimately lived up to the promise of the first few seconds. And I was like, oh, he's doing this. This is amazing. You
know, it's funny. I think that he was also leaning in towards Sophia's approval and like trying to like get that appeal, because, you know, we're both from South America. We're both, you know, and like, I just love the fact that at first Sophia's just like, déjelo, él es un idiota. Like Simon's an idiot. Don't worry about him. Right. Like, that to me, I was just listening to that. I'm like, oh my God, of course Sophia would say something like this. But also, she kind of switched up his words a little bit at some point, where she was just like, oh, he's back for revenge. Just like, no, he specifically said, and I quote, he specifically said, I'm here to impress Simon.
Yeah,
like get his approval.
She said revenge?
She said revenge. She's just like, Simon, he's back for revenge. And it's like, no, he did not say that.
I mean, that's just a typical Sophia Vergara moment there.
She likes to stir up mess.
She does like to stir up the drama, especially with Simon. I love them sitting next to each other.
It's great, though. I mean, I don't know. I like the act. I like the act, but, you know, and I can imagine it is impressive. And learning this information that he was trying to do the samba with his hands, and like he was doing the
He was doing well with his fingers,
Like, it's pretty impressive. I mean, I don't know. I'm trying it right now as we speak with my fingers.
1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2,
I don't know. All right. Well, best of luck to you, Oswaldo.
And, you know, if he's straight, he's probably got a very happy wife or girlfriend.
Oh my God. No.
Yes, Daniel.
That's a good joke. My joke was that a few weeks ago, there was a kid dancer who was wearing the same jacket. And I was like, do you think they switched behind the scenes? Do you remember that?
I remember that.
Same exact jacket.
The sparkly jacket.
Either they both bought it from Amazon or behind the scenes. I just want to know what happened. Did he give it to the kid or did the kid give it to him?
Was it the same color?
Same everything. It was exactly the same jacket.
Turquoisey, sparkly thing,
Yeah.
Okay.
That's
and
funny.
I remember on the podcast, I was like, I just want your jacket.
They both looked up flashy outfit to Amazon.
Oh, God.
Something to give me some
Zest and
Zazzle.
Zazzle.
There we go.
We miss you, Olivia. Hope you're doing well. All right, let's move on to our next act. Trent Toney. I have a lot of questions about
Yes.
this because I overheard some stuff. So he had to call his ex-wife,
Yes.
but he didn't want to.
Was he the one? Was he
Yes.
on your?
So he was on. They filmed 2 episodes my day that I was there, and his was the episode before us.
Okay.
But what was crazy was we all went to dinner after,
Okay.
and then you could hear the contestants talking to one another.
Yeah.
And I remember him saying that he was very bothered by the fact that they called his ex.
Really?
Yeah, and it was uncomfortable. Like he was like, it was very uncomfortable for him. Wasn't something that he wanted to do. But he got 4 yeses, and so it's kind of like, and so when you watch it back, they put at the end of it,
Yeah.
they're still not together. And I would believe that would be because maybe she was like, I don't want this shown, or maybe he like some kind of thing. They went back to the producers, and producers like, will this satisfy it so we can play it?
Yeah.
Because they, again, to get on air, they have to figure out a reason to show your segment. So there
What's
has
your
to be
angle?
a story, there has to be some kind of thing, and that was it. And he got on, but I don't think he was happy with it.
I
Based
just
off
feel
of
bad for him for that. They
Yeah,
were
it's
trying to create a
awkward.
viral
Ugh.
moment, and I really like. Here's the thing, too. People were saying, like, fans are criticizing that moment because Heidi was being
flirtatious.
air quotes manipulative,
Mm-hmm.
like emotionally manipulative towards Trent, because Trent came on and he had no interest in his ex-wife anymore.
Yeah.
And she was like, let's call her. And like, you could tell he didn't want to call her.
Yeah, but I'm just thinking about my ex-wife. If
You wouldn't
somebody was
wanna
like,
call
let's
your
FaceTime her, why? That would be awkward.
You'd be
I
like-
mean, I wouldn't want that. So.
Yeah. And you guys co-parent.
Yeah.
So like, that's as much contact as you want.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So fun fact, I was on a podcast. I don't know if I told you guys this, but I was on a podcast for Hinge. I want to say 2-3 years ago, where they were telling ghost stories of like people ghosting each other. And I was one of the people.
Mhm.
They had contacted me and they were just like, hey, someone had submitted a story about you. Would you like to do
Oh,
this
you were the
podcast?"
ghoster, not the ghostie.
I was the ghoster. But if you listen to the
Julian,
podcast,
you son of a bitch.
it's somewhere
ghoster.
out there. It's somewhere out there. It's really not that bad. They play me up to be this like player, this whatever. And then the hosts meet me and talk to me and they're like, he's actually a nice guy and he has a bunch of talents and blah, 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 whatever. And the whole point of it was that I had ghosted being her friend.
Mhm.
But we didn't do anything. Nothing happened. Anyways, anyways.
Julie, if you're
Where
listening to
is
this,
this
it was
going?
not around.
No, Julie
when you
knows
were
about
here.
this. Julie knows about this. Like,
Uh-huh.
but anyways, long story short, there's this moment where the producers had cut a long pause where basically there was something having
God.
to do with some sort of hotel fee and like being able to pay it. And I told her before I would pay whatever she didn't want to accept at the time. But then on the podcast, just to probably get some like clicks and likes or like get a reaction, she was like, you can pay me that hotel fee. And I sat there and I was like, sure. Like I took a lot of like a long pause, but if you listen to it on the podcast, it makes it seem like I immediately said yes.
Really?
And I was very uncomfortable. Like there were moments where I was uncomfortable, but they cut it up in a way to make it seem like,
Yeah.
and it's like, and it's not fair because it's like, I mean, I knew what I was signing myself up for. Sure. I knew I
but
was
that's
getting
what
money out
makes
of this.
The clicks.
Hinge. Those bastards.
And
That's
oh,
crazy.
yeah, it's, I'll show you guys later.
Yeah,
I'll send you
yeah,
guys
I was
the
going to
link
say,
if
you
y'all
have to
wanna
send
listen.
it to us because
Yeah,
I want to know
wanna-
how much of a player
Yes.
they made you out
Oh
to
yeah,
be.
yeah. No, they made it seem like I was this player. They were just like, oh yeah, it's this guy, and he's a magician. Oh, he's a musician. Oh, he's like there's so many traits about him. And then they meet me, and they're just like, I'm pretty sure they're like, this guy's a dork. Like, this guy's a nerd. Like, I don't know, but yeah.
That's kind of cool.
Anyways, but yeah, that's uncomfortable.
Ghoster Julian.
Yeah. I obviously feel sorry for this guy if he was not comfortable with them calling his ex, which of course you wouldn't be. And it's kind of gross anyway. But I will say that if somebody asks you, so tell us a little bit about yourself. And the first, maybe it wasn't the first thing he said on the show. The first thing he said was, I used to be married. Like, come on, like some self-respect. Come on. That can't be the first thing about
Listen, the writers may be on strike, but the producers are not
you.
yet.
Unbelievable.
So the one thing, this is sidebar. So remember Cupid from Cupid Shuffle, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay. So I told you, I know that man. And a big thing about him is his famous song is Cupid Shuffle.
Mhm.
And before I met him, I watched that episode of The Voice. He was on The Voice and he talked about, I want to break free of the song Cupid Shuffle. I want to, I'm just tied to me and people don't know I'm actually a real singer. And then they were like, awesome. The judges are going to not know it's you. So what are you going to sing? And he went Cupid Shuffle. And so again at home, I was like, this idiot.
Yeah.
That's what I thought. And then fast forward to 3 years later, I finally meet the man. And then I ask about the show, and he's like, I did not want to sing that song. He said, I had 2 other songs I was going to sing, and they made me sing that song. He goes, and so it made me look stupid. And so it's one of those things where like,
the producers are pulling the
I
string.
think he might have got up there and said a whole bunch of stuff, and they were like, our angle is this, because when they get focused on an angle, they're going to do what they want to do. And so I wonder if he was like, told his story and then told that one part, and they were like,
yeah, probably. That's probably naive on my part. But yeah, the way they edited it just made him look like a
Corey, you got a burning thought. I'm looking at what's
so
going on?
do we think that Lauren Allred wanted to sing Never Enough on BGT?
No, I think well, here's
That's an
the
interesting
maybe
question.
she
I think she
did.
probably did.
I think she did.
that she did too, but that's like a show
I
winning
think they asked her
song.
to.
I was about to say we might have to ask her because now I'm so curious.
I think she did because, well, here's the thing: the angle that Tony was being put, or like kind of, Trent was kind of being like cornered into was, I'm going to talk about my sob story about my ex-wife,
Yeah.
as opposed to Lauren Allred, who's like, well, I was this ghostwriter, or this ghost singer.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
For her, it was like, I want to reveal my hidden success. Where he's like, well, I wrote this song, but I don't want her to find out about it.
Yeah.
you know?
Yeah.
And there was another clip from, is it the X Factor, or it's that one kid who wrote a song confessing his love to this girl, and the judges are like,
I think
are you
it
going to
was
tell us?
Yeah, who
AGT.
it is, and they
Was it
keep on
BGT?
hounding him.
And they kept asking. He's like,
Think
I don't
so.
feel comfortable. I don't.
Yeah.
And at the end, he's like, no, I'm not doing it. And he still sings the song, but
Well, it's funny too because
You know?
each contestant is assigned a producer, and so the producer kind of
Really?
gets so they'll get like, if I'm your producer, I'm gonna for weeks leading up to the show get your information, tell me your stories, tell me so your mom was this, you came from this, you were homeless, I'm gonna get all of them, and then I'm gonna push you to tell the story that I think you should tell, but I'm gonna give you the freedom, but I'm gonna tell you, but this one could make you get on the
This one's
episode. So I think he probably said, here's my things, and they're probably like, push, you know what I mean? Because nobody wants to leave with that.
No. Yeah, I mean, the song was nice, but I think, again, this is why I don't like the stories, because after that like pantomime beforehand, I'm like, he could be the best singer in the world, and this is gross. I don't like this at all.
I just feel bad for him.
Yeah. I feel bad for him. I didn't.
They wanted to take the angle of you're an attractive young man who is also divorced.
Fireman.
Yeah, and then she's like, why did you wear the fireman costume?
And he's like,
We
because
like
that's
the fireman
disrespectful.
costume.
That was the best.
Perv. Like, what if it's like how we say, so you're a nurse, are you? Oh, why do you wear your nurse outfit? That would be
what is it? What was that line? Simon calling.
Calling Maddie Mearden naughty.
Oh.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wait, what's wrong with that? What happened?
It's just he called someone naughty, and Julian doesn't like that word.
It was,
Oh,
but
the
it was
word
a
naughty?
girl, and it was just
Is it
kinda
worse than the
creepy,
word
and he was
moist?
just like, you're being a naughty girl,
Well-
and it's like, imagine that.
She's like a no, it wasn't Simon who said it. That was my joke that Simon was saying it. Sophia said it to her. It's okay if a female is saying it to another female.
Okay.
Wait, what? It wasn't Simon?
No, that was just my joke. That's why I was getting mad at you guys for literally freaking
He has
out
said that,
over it.
though.
He
Yeah,
said
he
it
says
to
naughty,
her.
but he said it to, like,
her
older
on
ladies.
BGT.
right.
And she was an older lady. That's just it. That's why I'm like, it's not creepy.
It doesn't offend me.
But she's not like old.
Oh.
She was probably like 60s.
Older than him?
She was probably like 60, 50,
Some
60s.
older gentleman saying naughty girl to a younger.
I was about to say,
girl.
I think the
both
English
of you-
accent doesn't help with that.
both of you guys at the table
Naughty.
never say that to me. Thank
Oh,
you.
no, I wouldn't say that to you. I wouldn't. But
Okay,
you
good.
wanna
I
know
was
that?
like, I don't know what the butt is.
Before
I don't
this
know.
devolves
What is
any
happening?
further, let's move on to Puppet Simon and the Cowbelles.
Ooh, this is where my
You're
fun
being
fact
naughty,
comes in.
Julian.
That's very naughty.
Oh man. So HR, please report this episode.
Yes.
Jessica.
That's hilarious.
So, fun fact.
Yes, fun fact.
Fun fact time. So I thought this act was really good. I'm going to say my opinion first. Did you guys like it?
Fun
Yes.
opinion.
Simon
Fun
and Cowbelles.
Fun opinion? No.
Fun opinion works.
No.
I
Yes.
give it a nay, but I didn't dislike it. I just was like, okay, this is what it was.
Onion.
Was the person singing live? Because I feel like you're behind that desk and they could have just played a recording and moved the puppets. And that to me took away the power. But if somebody was back there singing.
Yes.
They were singing live?
I think so,
How do you know?
This is my fun fact. Are you ready for my fun fact?
Yes.
All right.
Did anyone recognize that voice?
Was it Tom
tell me
Ball?
this.
It was not Tom Ball. It was not Tom Ball.
Damn it.
Somebody she was a
actually-
groupie of.
Was it the guy who does the the CG Simon thing, and they just wheel him out
No,
every
but
year?
Daniel,
No.
you're going to remember she was a groupie for this group.
It was Gabe Brown from the Brown Brothers.
So it was
was
the Brown
it?
Brothers.
Yeah.
Because that Simon impression was so
It was
good.
good.
It was
spot on.
Gabe from the Brown Brothers. I don't know if his brother was part of it. I have no idea who the girls were. But the day after the show, I went on Twitter and Gabe had shared it, or Gabriel. I don't know what he prefers. But he had
I call
shared
him
it.
Gabe.
No. But he had shared it being like, so did anyone guess who the voice was? And then like in the comments, he like in the replies, he had elaborated more, being like, this is not my best performance because like the weird angle I was at, but like I'm very proud of it still nonetheless. And I was like, because at first I was like, oh, maybe he's just like joking, you know? But then I saw that reply and I was like, no, he's serious. Like that was
So
literally
then
him.
he did sing live then. Okay.
Did he
'Cause-
perform the puppetry as well? Do you know?
I don't know. I don't know who the girls were either. And I know his brother was there because I saw a behind the scenes photo of them
Right,
at one
okay.
point. And I was like, oh, that's weird. Like maybe they're just going to have like them talk to a different impressionist or
All right.
something. But they were having them do that. I don't know if his brother did anything,
Right.
but I know for a fact Gabriel was the Simon.
So do you
Nice.
think it's one of those things where they have the act and it's not a gag act, but it's one of those like filler acts that like
No.
we're going to say yes to it, but it's not actually going to move on and we're not going to see it
I
later.
think what it is that the Cowbelles are someone else and that they had this plot already figured out. And the producers are probably like, well, this is boring. And then they were like, let's just bring in someone who we know does a good Simon impression to make it more interesting. And they probably think it's going to be a one-off.
So then,
not coming
That's what
back.
I'm thinking. I would like to see them back because I love Gabriel Brown. I think he's amazing.
So that begs the question. That cat that went on, that CGI cat, what was his name?
That's so weird.
I don't remember the name either on BGT. There was
Noodle.
Tom Ball.
Noodle the cat.
yeah.
Noodle. I think,
Noodle
yeah.
the cat. Was that like a throwaway kind of thing where they were just like, we're just gonna get Tom here and like sing, you know?
I don't know because he came back, but also when I looked it up, Noodle was like a very prevalent figure in the UK. In like I think children's television. Dan, get on that. Come on, man. You're
I haven't
supposed
lived
to know
there
this.
for 8 years.
You're supposed to know everything about
But yeah,
it.
apparently Noodle is like a very big children's character in the UK.
So that
and
must be a one.
but they had him back for the semifinals, I think, and that's where they were like, this is Tom Ball.
Oh, right. Okay.
But I don't know if Noodle will ever come to America because they don't have whatever show Noodle's on here. Because Noodle was also on a Italy's Got Talent.
So maybe it would work here
Yeah.
if you've never seen it.
We end up seeing Bluey. Bluey could be a thing.
Yeah,
you know?
exactly.
Yeah.
And like Bluey's Australian.
Yeah.
That's an Australian show.
It's the same as Mr. Blobby was on
Yes.
this year, and he's
Yes.
a big.
Mr. Blobby creeps
Blobby.
me out. Oh
Really?
my god!
What is Mr.
yes.
Blobby?
It's the voice changer thing. It's
It's
like because
really weird.
they
It's like a
stack
Dalek
like three.
almost.
Blobby, Blobby, Blobby. Oh,
Yeah.
God.
And he was there was this like Saturday evening kind of family Ant and Dec style thing in the 90s, and he was on there all the time and just like falling over and getting guns everywhere.
A
And
person? Or like,
it's a guy in a big like
blob
pink
suit.
and pink
Okay.
suit with like yellow spots, and he wears a little bow tie,
like Grimace?
kind of grimace-ish.
Okay.
So yeah, that was again.
Have you seen that act? It's the one where Simon gets slimed.
I haven't
No, I've
seen that
not
one
seen it.
either.
It's good.
I gotta watch it. On BGT?
BGT.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean,
Right.
it's a great act and it's
Yeah.
funny, but it's just a matter of like it's just the do not stack like three voices on top of each other because then it just sounds demonic.
We are Blobby.
Oh god.
With the Cowbelles, I will say quickly that I did give it an A, and I stand by that an A, but it broke my heart to give them an A because I love puppetry. And I think puppetry is magic. I've said it for years. It's just like one of the most incredible. I used to volunteer at this museum, and there was this like puppet theater thing where there was an exhibition on the Muppets, and there was a little puppet theater at the end where it's like you get to, you know, there was some like hand puppets for like Kermit and various things, and you watched people put these things on, and you watch these kids like sit down in front of it and see their friends pick up a Miss Piggy thing and put their hand in the Miss Piggy thing, but then as soon as that Miss Piggy comes up over the thing, it's Miss Piggy. and they're just in it into absolutely magical. And so I just feel like there wasn't enough puppet stuff in this. If you're just gonna sing, just sing.
I will say, adding to that, a friend of mine, Tao, Asar's brother, I go out to lunch with him from time to time. So he's on Sesame Street. He's actually the person who he was the first black puppet on Sesame Street, but he's one of the puppeteers for Sesame Street. So, and like I've worked with him on a short film, and I remember seeing him, and you meet him and he's a very quiet guy, kind of, just introspective, really methodical. But then you see him grab a puppet and it comes to life. And I am same thing.
It's magic.
You look at it and it's like, wow.
Yeah.
This is amazing.
Yeah.
Like giving it character, animating it. It's insane. I know. I should have said this before, Corey. You look shocked. Yeah.
That's
it's
so
insane.
cool.
Yeah. Yeah. So like, and you meet this guy and he's just a very chill dude. And like, you
just
talk
down
to him.
To earth and normal. Wow. That's
down to
cool.
earth, very normal, like very quiet as well. But he picks up this character and it's like, shout out to you, Tao. You are amazing at what you do.
Shout out.
Yeah.
Now I want to meet you.
Yeah.
I want to see the puppets.
Yeah, next time you come to have lunch with Julian, bring your puppet.
Yeah.
Oh my God,
This
can
is
you imagine
Asar's
here?
brother. So I go out to
That'd be
lunch with
cool.
Asar, but Asar's brother
Got
is
it.
Tao. Yeah.
Well, then bring your brother.
I was about to say it's not
God,
weird when
that's
Dan says it.
That whole family's super talented. Shout out to Asar as well. Asar is an amazing artist. Anyways, amazing
Just
puppetry.
go on to AGT and then we can talk about you guys.
Y'all
Yeah.
both have to go on AGT.
Yeah.
That's what's gonna happen. But yeah. So yeah, I don't know. I mean, great puppets, great singing.
No, it was amazing.
It was amazing. No, it was
I
it was
will
great.
fight people on this.
Oh God.
I thought that Gabe's Simon impression was way better than last year too.
That
I thought it
impression
was-
was great.
I thought it
I
was
thought
spot
that
on.
he did really good. Yeah.
At first, I thought it was AI. I'm not gonna lie.
I did too.
Oh, fake. But that's what I was saying. Only reason why I couldn't get captivated by it because I thought it was all pre-recorded. I didn't think it was live, but now
But they also
I feel judgy, so I take back
wish-
my nay.
I wish that they would have come out of like behind the table afterwards. But also like if they would have done that, then it would have kind of ruined it because it was someone from last season.
Why would that ruin it?
Because I don't think he like was supposed I don't think he knew the Cowbelles before that.
Okay, all right.
That's why I'm like I feel like they brought him in for that act just to have a good Simon impression.
Okay.
Which Gabe, please correct me. Sorry, Gabriel, please correct me if I'm wrong.
Baby, baby.
Stop it.
Please call me by Gabriel. Thank you.
Mr. Brown.
Steven, call me sir.
Or if your legal correspondence should go to my lawyer. Refer to me as the plaintiff.
God. All right, moving on. We have Duo Desire, the couple aerial act. I always get really scared with aerial acts, especially if it's two people, because I mean, they're always pushing the boundaries of what they can do. It's already impressive. And I say this all the time, there's a lot of strength that goes into it. But that last part where she drops
Free fall.
one wrong move and you can be paralyzed for life.
Absolutely.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
Like
It didn't
what?
look like they had a mat.
No, they
Yeah,
didn't.
no,
They didn't,
they
right?
never do.
No.
I get so scared when they go up and it's like they're next to the X's and the
Yeah.
signs and
Yeah.
it's like, oh my God, you can die.
That's really
Like-
high up.
Yeah, they were awesome. Corey actually made me watch that one, and before before the thing, and I remember going, they were truly incredible.
Yeah.
They're beautiful.
Oh, absolutely.
Beautiful to look at.
Sexy.
Very sexy, both of them. Beautiful to look at. But I think really awesome what they did.
Their story was insane because she was like, yeah, I did a Groupon one day for Ariel. And I was like, the way that you're performing right now is not giving. I did a random Groupon for funsies one
But it
day.
proves that people are just natural, naturals
Yeah.
at certain things, you know?
Oh my
You should
God.
just try everything because maybe.
Never
Let's try
know.
some Ariel, Daniel. You and me.
No, I
Put it in the
You're
budget,
honestly,
put it in the budget.
I told everybody that I would fight them on this one if they said that they didn't like them because this is probably the best aerial act I think I've ever seen.
Wow.
And I usually before this Duo Transcend was up there.
And then what's it?
Aiden?
That
You
young
put-
boy,
you put him
yeah.
over
You really
Aiden?
liked him as well, didn't you?
Aiden
I
Bryant?
do like Aiden Bryant.
Yeah.
It's a different type of act when it's one person.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's true.
That's all I have to say about that.
Yeah, theirs is a little more dangerous.
Theirs was so interesting to me because for me it just goes back to that one trick where she is like laid across the strap in
And
the
he's
air
like whipping it around.
Yes.
Yeah, that was
and I am
really
like,
nice.
what happened to gravity?
Yeah.
Why is she not falling? I would be on the ground right now, dead. Like everything about it. Then when he like joined her in the air, I was like, oh my God, it's just a free for all.
Also, she's doing a split
Yeah.
the entire time. And it's like,
That I had seen
how are
before.
you not just
Him
you
grabbing
know, like,
that I
a
had seen
wishbone.
before.
God, jeez.
But-
oh God, that's a terrible sight.
Oh my God.
Oh.
Make a wish.
Oh my God. No,
Snap her
I
leg.
had before they went on, I had looked at their show reel, and interesting enough, their show reel are two separate reels. One for her, one for him.
Mhm.
So like
Okay.
they perform together and separate, which I think is very like I respect that.
Interesting.
Very respectable here. And honestly, I didn't know how it was going to go with them together. I didn't know if they were going to throw at us this is the first time we've actually performed together. You know what I mean? Thank God they didn't do that. But from both of their show reels, I could tell that they were both extremely talented. I can't get over the fact that she's only been doing being an aerialist for how many years? Like 3?
Yeah.
But you'd be surprised. I think it's a matter, and that goes back to if you're a natural and you love it.
I agree.
You
100%.
will put
No,
in those 10,000
I
hours.
100
You know what
I
I'm saying?
100% agree. She looks like the way that she was doing everything looks like she's been doing it for her entire life.
Yeah.
Yeah.
For him, I
'Cause
think he
she's
has been
natural.
doing it for his entire life. So it makes sense that the two of them match in that sense. I think that they're one of the groups that if we never see them again, it's because they got picked up by someone else.
Cirque du Soleil.
Yeah.
100%. And it's so
I think they're
interesting.
going to be back on.
When I looked at their YouTube channel, they had show reels trying to get into different shows since 2019.
Oh, yeah.
And I
Yeah.
was like, they are so good that I'm so shocked no one else has picked them up yet.
Yeah, they'll get into Cirque or something like that.
I think so too. I'm a huge fan of them. I told our manager Ellie, I told him that my top 3 of the season so far, Putri, Lavender, and number 3 is Duo Desire.
Ooh,
Mhm.
okay.
Yeah.
I think they were great as well. If I can just bring in one negative just to even it out
Yeah,
a little bit.
absolutely.
Take the cap off. Do you know what I mean? This is like a sexy, like, thing. Take a cap. A cap. Take it off. Like, what are you doing? Like an idiot. It's like a baseball game. Take it off.
Wait, was he just wearing like a
He was
snapback? the
wearing
entire-
like a cap backwards, and she's like got a like lovely.
I wonder if that was
shirt.
what
Wait,
that was for.
I
Like,
don't know.
what-
How did I not notice that?
I didn't notice
just-
it either.
It
Now that
really
I'm thinking
pissed
about
me
it.
off.
Oh my God.
Because it's like this elegant, beautiful, like, you know, all of these, you know, it was the, you know, the kind of beautiful drapes coming down, and she's obviously got, you know, she's got her outfit all sorted. She's not casual, and then he's just wearing a cap,
A
like
cap.
getting
I could just
beanie on his-
imagine. I could just imagine Dan watching this, just like
stewing.
Yes, of course.
It's
That-
just
that
like
one
This
thing.
fucking
is
cap
so
up.
good, but just a little scratchy little. Anyway, but yeah, very, very good,
Yeah.
very, very. I mean, finalist must be.
100%.
Oh, absolutely.
Do you think
If-
finalists? Okay.
If they are not a finalist, I will personally call NBC and let them know that I am very upset with them.
I think also going back to your point, Corey, where it's impressive that they did this like separately for their audition tape,
yeah.
but their chemistry is just so
Together.
electric. Like, you know,
Yeah.
it's insane.
No, and like
Were they
that
a couple?
they're married.
Oh, they are married. Okay.
Yeah,
Yeah.
they have like you know Duo Transcend.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Duo Transcend's one of the biggest ones ever, and their whole thing was like the sexy, like
Yeah.
romance, marriage, and it's like they were giving Duo Transcend more than Duo Transcend gives
Oh.
Duo Transcend,
Yeah.
and that's hard to do because Duo Transcend, you can tell that those two love the hell out of each other,
Mhm.
100%. But they were, oh my God, when they would get on the ground and they would do like the little kiss on the forehead, and I'm like, oh my God, you guys are bringing in the whole aspect of like this is dangerous, and
Yeah.
I hope you're okay, and that was
In
really
case I kill you.
yeah, in case I legitimately kill you. Yeah. Oh my God, everything about it. I loved them. I could go on forever about them. They were my favorite. I think they might end up being like who I want to win. I don't think they'll win, but I would love to see it.
Mhm.
Yeah.
I'm waiting for when we have our bets.
Oh,
this year.
yeah, that's gonna
that's
be
gonna
fun
be
this year.
fun. That's gonna be a lot
We're
of
gonna
fun.
do the hot chip for Daniel.
Oh my!
I was about to say I'm not taking part in
Dan,
that.
would you do that hot
I'm
chip?
not taking part. Nope.
After seeing how it
Nope. I'm not taking
affected
part.
you,
Again, no. Well, look,
someone of Colombian descent,
Oh.
and me with my pure white British
Nope.
genes.
well, again, Dan. I coated my mouth with Pepto. I also
Decline.
tried to prep for it, and
like-
it didn't. It backfired immensely. So
if we can prepare that little bath in there just full of milk, so I can just dive in
dive
there.
inside
have
after
a
the
panic
bathroom.
button as well, just
let
in
it all
case.
seep
I just
into
remember
my-
hearing, I'm like, what is that noise downstairs? It was, help me.
So,
Poor
long
Julian.
story short, if y'all are interested, go on the Talent Recap Instagram. There is a clip of me doing the hot chip challenge. And when I tell you the disclaimer at the end, where there's this funny little bit where we put where it was just like, oh yeah, Julian destroyed the trip, and it's that what is it?
It's Always Sunny, isn't it?
Is Always Sunny?
I think so.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So.
Every single text on there is not a joke. All of those things happened. Please watch it.
It did not go well.
It didn't go
Not,
well.
and I'm mad at myself because the last instance where I was helping him, I wanted to bring the camera out, but he was in so much pain. I'm like, I can't do this, but we have to capture this, Julian. I was like, how do I say this? But he literally had his pants unbuttoned, his shirt pulled up, was trying to like rip his stomach out like Alien. And I was like, I can't.
But then I think it was the very next day that I was just like, did you record
Yes,
it?
he did. He goes, why didn't you take the camera out? I'm like, I couldn't. You were like literally a
That would have
step
been
away from
fine.
dying.
No,
Like, I
no,
would've
this
been
is an
totally
instance where Billy is a very good friend.
No, but it's also because I know myself. I'm curious. I want to see what I look like.
What it was.
I want to like.
I didn't know you well. Now I would. I
Yeah.
know you well
Oh,
enough
yeah.
then to be like, I would take the camera out. I would want
and
you
I
to.
won't be upset. I don't know. Maybe in the moment I might be like, okay, maybe it's just like, but I don't know how
Seriously,
to
dude.
like.
Seriously.
Are you serious? But then
can you show it to me?
yeah, show it to me afterwards. I'll always be curious.
Regardless, I am not doing the hot chip ever. Decline.
We'll find a different challenge.
Again, just don't take Don't do what I did. I mean,
I'm
grab
not
the
doing
gloves,
it at all.
but don't take Pepto.
I'm not doing it at
before.
all.
Because
Not
that's
doing it at all.
again, that's what killed
Corey
me.
will never do it.
I will
because
never
it
do
went
it.
down easy. It's not supposed to go down easy, and it's not like it hit my system right when it was really, really
Yeah,
bad.
no.
Like it's supposed to be a gradual thing. It hit me all at once.
Yeah, I
Like,
can't do spice. I would be one of those people who end up in the hospital.
$1
I'm not
million,
doing that.
would you do it?
No.
1 million. Really?
$1 million?
No.
1 million.
I would do it again.
I'd do it for $1 million. I'd do it again for $1 million.
No.
$1 million.
I'd eat any one of you for $1 million. Jesus Christ.
Would you spend a whole day with Simon Cowell and $1 million?
What
Eat
am I
the
going
hot
to do
chip.
with Simon
No.
Cowell?
You spend
Whatever
a
you
whole
want.
day with Howie Mandel and Jacqueline Schultz and $1 million, and you have to do the hot chip.
No. I do love Howie Mandel.
Okay,
but no.
I'm going to get it right now. You get to spend 1 week with Ariana Grande plus $1 million if you just do the hot chip.
And Brandon Leak.
And Brandon Leak.
You said the wrong person.
Really?
Ariana.
And the Brown Brothers.
No.
Ariana.
Quickly, who does she like as well?
Zac Efron.
I was about to say you're getting there.
Okay. Yeah, Ariana's Zac
Efron and Hudgens.
There you go.
There we go.
$1 million and you can spend the week with them. Do whatever, hang out. Corey, you're 100% you're going to figure out how to do this.
I don't think I could. Because here's the thing. My mind immediately goes to, that sounds great, but you're not going to survive the chip. So like,
You're
you
not going to
don't
die.
get-
You're not gonna die.
It's going to be miserable, but you're not going to die.
well,
Yeah.
we should look up statistics later. Like,
Okay.
Yeah,
has
I kind
anyone
of-
died from the
How
chip?
many deaths?
And I think maybe the new blue one, possibly. I heard that one's way worse.
Really?
Yeah.
Because the one I had was
The black one, you had the black one, right?
Because
Two
that
of
was-
you looking at each other like, oh
that
my
was
God, we
the-
got to do this.
No, because that was the scorpion pepper and the Carolina Reaper, and
Yeah.
both of those. I mean, the Carolina Reaper alone, I'm scared.
Remember the smell? Do you remember the smell?
I remember the smell.
I remember the smell.
My backpack still smells of the chip.
I
off
will.
the
I will
first
say
chip.
though. I will not do the hot chip challenge. But if I ever get the chance to be on hot ones, I would totally do it.
Which I don't.
but I
it's the
feel like
same
that's
thing.
Take one bite
worse.
of it. One,
Probably.
I grew
That's
up.
what I
because
think too.
yeah,
I grew
it's
up in
consistent.
Rochester.
Yeah.
I grew up in Rochester. You guys have to remember where I'm from here. Chicken wings are like my blood.
But again, remember, Idris Elba went on the show and he's like, "I'm from the Caribbean," and that
Yes.
had him.
That's
Every person.
okay.
He was gonna fight one of the
that's-
production
and it's
assistants.
Leave him up with his show. Steve in the corner. Can you fight, Steve?
And it's leading
my
up.
favorite
It's
hot
like
ones.
hot,
So good.
hotter.
No, I know.
hot, and your stomach is
I have
getting
the,
to the like.
I have the second hottest one. Well, my dad has the second hottest one. My boyfriend got it for him for Christmas, and it wasn't that bad. If you have just like,
Oh, his reaction is just great.
That
He's
was
like,
great. We saw that.
yeah, he hates it. He hates it. He hates it.
Okay, we're devolving. We have to
Good.
reel it back in.
This is going to be a 9-hour podcast.
The editing for this is not going to be fun. Anyways, but it's okay because this next one's going to be short. Presley and Taylor.
I really liked them. I thought that they were better than Trailer Flowers, who was earlier in the season. But and here's the thing: they brought like their own band with them, which I
Yeah,
respect.
that's good.
Oh my god, why are we being like this?
Can I sum up what the three of us
Please.
are
You guys
thinking?
don't like them.
Good country artists. That's all I have in my
Yeah.
notes.
I liked the fact that these two clearly had experience and that they had their own band. It's like Drew and
Yeah.
Drake Milligan brought his band the first time.
No,
and then,
not any close to Drake Milligan.
excuse you, I wasn't
Sorry.
done talking yet.
Doesn't matter.
Also,
I wish we had an air horn effect. Just
Also, I thought it was interesting. I found out after the fact that the song that they sang was co-written by Jesse James Decker, who's a big country artist. Not like Dolly Parton level, but she was on Dancing with the Stars, so she's enough of a star.
I just think they said, oh, this is our, we wrote this or co-wrote this or whatever. So this is a song that they've specifically chosen to sing on this specific show for this specific purpose.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like, sure, like there are country songs that are more like that Chapel Hart one or whatever.
Yeah.
Drake Milligan, the songs are more like, hey, let's all get it. It was just so kind of middle of the roady kind of.
Yeah, of the mediocrest, they were the meatiest.
It felt like with them and Trailer Flowers, they were trying to create the Chapel Hart effect again, which I understand. Everybody was obsessed with Chapel Hart last year, but,
The song was fun. The song was upbeat.
Bringing in two sets of, one set was brunette, white duos. Another set was blonde white duos. People like Chapel Hart because they came out and said country music doesn't look like us.
Yeah.
So
That's true.
It feels like they were just trying to fill the void, trying to get that Chapel Hart moment again, but they're not choosing the right people. And I know people who aren't white do country. I know that there's other country artists out there they could have picked.
Yeah.
That's my only thing about it. I thought that Presley and Taylor were good though.
I just felt it was so middle of the road, and like Chapel Hart and Drake Milligan. I feel like each one of them came out, and you were like, oh, they had moments, and this was kind of like, okay,
this just seemed like very generic.
Yeah,
it did.
And they weren't bad.
Yeah,
no.
Again, they're not bad at what they do. It's just a matter of like there wasn't that wow factor that
song,
that
the
one thing
performance.
that made them stand out. You know what I'm saying?
It was like cool.
And I'm always shocked by that because when you're going on the show, you have to plan for, have to have the moment. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And so to go on and not choose a song that you're like, this is going to get people going.
For them to be thinking, this is the song for us.
Yeah.
This is the one that's really going to wow them. I think, come on, guys.
Yeah.
So Presley and Taylor, if you're listening, 2 words for you. The Voice.
Yeah.
Okay.
You're welcome.
No, for real. Yeah.
They'd
Definitely,
be great on
because
The
they're both
Voice.
beautiful too. So.
They'd be great on, well, I mean, yeah, but they have great voices too.
Mhm.
They'd be great for The Voice. Just make sure you choose Team Reba. If you choose any other teams, I'm going to be very upset with you. Unless you get Dan and Chase season, that's fine.
All right.
Don't choose John Legend.
All right. Let's move on with our next act. Billy, we would like you to speak about this one. Andrew Stanton. Do you remember who this is?
The sword swallowing dude that I showed you. Okay,
gosh.
to give everybody some context, I love Danger Acts. Billy absolutely hates them. So whenever one
I don't hate
shows
them. I just
up-
don't want to watch them.
Whenever one shows up, I go over to Billy's desk and I'm like, "Hey, Billy, I have something to show you." And he goes, "Oh God,
That was horrifying.
that was horrifying."
The pulling it out of your mouth, that thing was crazy. But then why the stomach?
Yeah.
Oh, sorry. I was a little freaked out by it. But why the sticking it in your solar plexus? That was horrifying.
Yeah.
It's
I gave
spinning
it a yay,
around.
but I don't want to watch it. Like, you know what it is? Okay, it was on, but I don't want to watch it again because he's going to die.
Yeah, the dude could have impaled himself.
Yes.
He reminded me of a caveman.
And I have a weird thing with belly buttons. I don't like to see people
Yeah.
touch their belly
And
buttons.
it was right in there,
And it was
wasn't it?
there.
I was like showing it to Billy, and he's like turning around his shirt, be like, "Oh my God, belly button!" And I was like, "Do I need to turn this off? Are you okay?" And he goes, "I'm fine."
Because I feel like a belly button, you're like inside somebody's body. And I have just a crazy story. When I was a little boy, this little girl, her name was Adela, used to beat me up. Okay, no, let me explain. I used to
Got beat up. By
sorry, this random
What?
side
In your
story.
belly button?
Wait,
So
what?
comes off wrong.
Wait, you need a hug, Billy?
My family lived in one projects and my grandmother lived in one. And after school, my mom made me go cross the woods, go to her house and do my homework there every day. And this little black girl would say, I'm black, so it's okay to say that. Little black girl would stand behind the dumpster. I think she had a crush on me as a kid. And she'd be like, "Hey, Billy." And she'd come out and she would just start scratching me and beating me up. I'm like 8, 9 years old, right?
Why?
And she was bigger than me, but she had a belly button that was like a dong. It swung around and it hung out. I'm sorry, yes.
Wait,
She
wait,
had
wait.
an outie.
Was it one of, because I've seen people with belly buttons where they're just like, yeah, I can just pull it out.
This one was out and flopping. And so what happened is
So Billy, what was more traumatizing, the beating or the belly button?
the belly button. I didn't want it to touch me. That's why I was getting scratched up. I wasn't fighting back. So I'm like, what is that thing?
What was her name again?
Adela.
Wait.
don't beat me up. Just,
Wait.
I mean, beat me up all you want. Just don't touch me with that thing.
How
Don't
did
dong
you-
slap me with your belly button.
How did you see her belly button?
Because she was wearing like a little top and then
Oh,
shorts,
like a
and
crop
she would
top?
come after
Okay.
me, and I just remember it, and I had a nightmare that I ripped it off, and so yeah, it made me have a thing with belly buttons. So I've always when you put the knife in the belly button,
Were you curious to just,
I-
like, as
I-
a defense mechanism, just rip it
What an
or like
upsetting
pull on it?
story.
So I think
Isn't
we've
it?
learned today that Billy does not like belly button
Yeah.
piercings.
yeah,
Is anybody here an Audi
No.
belly button?
No.
No, we're all innies.
innies.
Yeah.
No. I probably could get Billy to freak out though.
No,
Hello.
don't do it. I won't look.
Can you pull your belly button out?
The belly button piercing.
my-
Oh, you have a
God.
peer. Oh, wow. I didn't even know that. We're getting really personal on the pod.
Billy is looking at what looks to be a fairly standard belly button piercing, as if
He
there was
looks
a
like-
Your
finger
shirt
coming.
snags it, and you pull off your whole
I've
solar
had it
plexus,
since I was
your whole
16 years
spleen.
old.
Oh, God.
I don't
Oh
like my
my
belly button.
God.
I think I have a nice belly button.
You have a nice belly button.
Yeah.
Don't touch it though.
Sorry. Sorry. It's a nice belly button. I can't help it.
Oh my
Yeah.
gosh, I can't with the towel.
I'm going to be the
folks.
only person here to not get my belly button out.
Yeah.
I just wanted to freak out Billy.
All right,
and
Dan,
it
you got to
worked.
show us your belly button.
Oh my god.
Man. But yeah, so back to
Andrew Stanton. I thought I was really surprised when because he came out and he didn't have a story. He didn't say anything. He just got right into it. Love that. But it comes up on the lower third of like, oh, this is Andrew Stanton. And it really threw me because Andrew Stanton is the name of the Pixar guy. He directed Toy Story 2.
Really?
He directed Bugs
Wow.
Life. He directed Finding Nemo. And I'm like, is
That is
this
his name.
Andrew
Okay.
Stanton?
No, this was a
there's a
caveman.
different Andrew Stanton. But yeah,
This
I
guy
thought it was great.
screeched.
He did screech. And it was great because you think of, again, you've got here's the act and here's the presentation. He did two things. He did two things.
Yeah.
But the way that he presented it, the way that he built up to everything
Yeah.
gave you a full act. I think that's very clever.
it was very much it gave me this like mind over matter, very tribal,
Yeah.
like kind
Yes.
of. And I think
Viking.
that's, yeah, like
Yeah.
it was very impressive how it was just like you put your mind to something, you won't feel it. It's like people who say, I don't know how much of this I believe, but like if you're cold, just think of a hot place or something. Or like
Right,
think
yeah.
of, you
That
know, and
never
I'm,
works for me. I tried.
but I'm pretty sure it works for some people
Yeah.
where you have that mental capacity to be like, well, I'm going to really, really focus and hone in on this thing, and then maybe I won't feel this thing. Whereas this dude, I mean, he has that moment of like the tribal screech, you
Yeah.
know, he has to do these breathing exercises to prep himself to be like, I'm going to be on this thing and my body is going to allow me to stay here and not
Yeah.
turn into a human shish kebab,
Yeah.
you know, like,
Yes, because he did almost shish kebab himself. Because that
Yeah.
thing,
It was
and
really
that's
in
different. It's also two different skills. Because the swallowing is one thing, and then the sticking that in there.
Yeah.
Ugh.
insane. Oh,
Yeah.
Yeah.
But it is true. The pain thing, you think of the amount of times, and this happens to me all the time. I think, God, isn't that interesting? That if you get like bitten by a mosquito or whatever, but you don't realize it, it doesn't itch until you see it.
until
Yeah.
you notice it.
You
Yeah.
see
Yeah.
it, and then you're like, oh, God, I need to itch that. But it's like, I've had that for like hours, and it hasn't.
Yeah, they say it's
Such a-
better to be stabbed in the back than the front.
I heard that
Because you
too.
won't notice it.
Because you don't notice it. So if you're stabbed in the back, you
Wow.
won't know until you've been stabbed. That's when you feel the pain. But if
Wow.
somebody's coming at you like this from the
You
front,
see it
you
all,
instantly will feel the pain.
Wow.
Don't stab me in the back, please.
Because it could definitely be more of a mental thing at that point.
But that's why I'm going, he's knowing what he's doing.
Yeah.
So that's a double.
He's really got to get his
He
head
was
around it.
literally doing it to himself.
Yeah.
Ugh.
Anyways,
Well done, Andrew.
well done,
Yeah,
Andrew.
well done.
Not sure if I'm excited to see what they'll do
Yeah,
next, but
what's
well
next?
done. All right, let's get on to our last act.
There we go.
We have Lavender Darcangelo.
Loved her.
Yeah.
Amazing.
She was
Yeah.
amazing.
And her story was, it's hard to not like, because again, sometimes it's hard because you don't want to fall for they're giving me the sob story and now this thing. But her story is actually pretty incredible. You know what I mean? And it's pretty awesome to watch her. And she was great.
The producers must have been jumping for joy. You've got this girl coming in. Can she sing? Yeah, she's a very good singer. Does she look conventionally like a singer looks? No, she doesn't look like. Okay. Does she have any disabilities? She's blind. Okay. Good. Anything else? She's autistic. Okay. Good. What about
she
her
has
parents?
Nope.
I was about to say,
she's actually adopted. Okay. Good. Who's she adopted by? gay dudes. Oh!
It was like literally every part of the story, because that's the one I was there for live. And as they were saying, I was like, oh my gosh. And when they did the taping, she was the second act out and got the Golden Buzzer second act out. And so it was kind of shocking to go, oh, it's done for the day. It's done. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And then it takes like 30 minutes for them to clean that up. So you have to kind of sit. So as an audience, you sit with the audience for 30 minutes.
How was it being in the audience for that? With like the Golden Buzzer, did everybody get up? Did they make everyone get up? Or like, was it a moment of like...
God, so it's so weird. I wasn't completely present again because we were there to support Mason. And so I hate to sound shady or weird, but you want your person to get the Golden Buzzer.
Oh no, of course.
So everybody in your row is pissed off at a moment because they're like, no, because in your head, there's only one for the day and it's gone.
Yeah.
So your person still hasn't come. And so in your head, you're thinking, oh God, this is going to be harder. Now he's going to get 4 yeses. And so that kind of, I had to separate myself and go, okay, celebrate for this young, beautiful girl because she was incredibly talented. And then I finally was there. But for a moment, you know, you have that. And then I also had Mason's girlfriend looking at me like, what's going to happen now? You know what I mean? So
you promised us a Golden Buzzer, Billy.
So it was special.
Do they play... What does it sound like? Because in every edit, they always put some kind of like
so they didn't play any music.
Is it just a boom?
It was just
it's
a
always
loud
This
boom.
Is Me from The Greatest Show.
Oh, no, it is that, by the way, now. But it was just the loud boom and
just
the
boom and that's it.
Confetti.
And so the confetti's so you can hear the confetti landing on the stage.
You can hear it, but you know what was the audience was screaming.
Oh, and obviously everyone's
But I
cheering.
think the thing that for me that was weird was it was quieter. It didn't like on the show. The lead up is always like slow motion, and it was like she pressed it, and it was like, oh, like you weren't. It was so fast it happened that I didn't feel ready for it. You know,
I thought she was just amazing. Like her singing was amazing. Again, it was just all the factors that were just that made a great act. And
do you think she can win?
Possibly.
Oh, like who has a cuckoo clock?
Sorry, that's mine.
Whoa.
It's almost time for the stand-up, guys.
Oh. But there is no stand-up, right?
No, not today.
Oh, okay.
I liked her because I like a jazzy singer, and I really liked that about her. I have to say, not only was the story laying on hard, the song choice was so good.
Okay, so question, does anybody know what that song is from?
No.
What song was it again?
Something about...
Out Here on My Own.
No.
What is it from?
Fame the Musical.
Right, yeah.
I feel like I should know this. I went to the Fame School.
That's the musical I did. So that's why I'm like, when she sang it.
I will say, I think that, like, because she's obviously got a really good kind of big voice.
Mm-hmm.
You get these with like bigger singers and you think, oh, there's a lot of space in that body to just power out some voice. But I did think the beginning bit of it, and maybe it's nerves, obviously it's nerves, but like, she really came into her own when it got to be like, I'm singing this out, like the kind of quieter bit. So again, it's like maybe song choice for
Do you think she can win?
I don't know. She's ticking a lot of boxes, man. There's,
I think the top two of this season will be her and Putri.
Really?
Yeah.
So you think it's going to come down to the two of them?
I think number 3 will be Duo's Desire just because it's me.
Who do you think will win between Putri and Lavender?
I honestly couldn't tell you right now. I think it depends on what they perform in the semifinals. Right now, everybody seems to be on Putri's side.
I think she's more advanced. Putri's more advanced.
Putri also already won one of these shows. Let's be honest. Let's just.
And the advantage that she has is that she writes her own stuff as well, which I think some people would kind of give her an extra level.
You don't know if Lavender does or not yet.
That's true.
It's still a surprise.
I mean, if she's like, "Oh, I've never performed this before," and then it's like, "All right, okay, here we go. This is a really good song." Yeah, could be. Yeah. It is very interesting to have. Yeah, kind of two. And again, you don't want to think about it in these terms, but I feel like the producers think about it in these terms of like two people who are kind of fitting into a similar category, shall we say. But I mean, they're both very good. Both very good.
Simon or Heidi's Golden Buzzer.
Yeah, they both got Golden Buzzers as well.
Pretty insane.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Huh. I really wonder though. I mean, again, it always comes back to, I wonder what it's going to be like once they perform their second. Whatever the second performance is for a lot of these acts too, because some of these acts didn't really get through, or some of them they're just like, you could have done better.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's 4G, which is the one that I'm really curious about, and that's this was from weeks ago. And 4G, is it 4G, 3G?
3G, the Ukrainian girls who messed
I don't
up.
ever want to see them again.
I'm just curious to know whether or not. I mean, they're gonna have to do that trick.
The
again.
gymnast,
the
the like
three
balancing,
girls.
like the Bellow
Oh, yeah,
sisters,
yeah.
but they kind of kept
yeah, I
on
remember
messing
them.
up.
They're like the
But they
dollar
messed
store
up
Bellow
3
sisters.
times.
Oh, yeah, but they're not coming back though, right?
Yeah, they are.
I don't think
Oh.
they are. I don't think we're gonna see him again.
Well, I mean, we'll see. But I
But
don't
they
know.
gave him a chance because they kept
Yeah.
trying over. You're right. I remember them.
And they got that Ukraine card to
Yeah.
play. It's a powerful
Part of the
card at the
story.
moment. Yeah.
It is.
So how many audition rounds do we have? Do we know?
Good question.
We don't know.
Probably
No.
have 2 more, right?
Because
Don't
they
you
might,
think?
I think
because we
there's
don't know
more.
about judge cuts.
Really?
and stuff.
Because the lives are later this year, so August 22nd is the live rounds.
So Mason may get on then.
Mason,
Hypothetically, they do.
Mason,
Last week's
Mason.
they did
Yeah.
two weeks of semifinals that were pre-recorded.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know when they filmed those. So
Yeah.
with
It's
the-
like now you get into the kind of the later stages of the auditions. You do have that thing of like, oh, who's my top 3? Who's my top 5? Like which ones am I? But and so like you just want to kind of get through these last few
Yeah.
rounds of auditions, and yeah, so you know, right, this is who I've got to pick from.
Have they
I
done the
think-
group Golden Buzzer?
Not yet, no.
Okay.
We still have 2 golden buzzers left, Sophia and Group Golden. I also think it'll be interesting because now that I'm thinking about this, I don't know when they filmed the semifinals, and hopefully they filmed it before yesterday.
Oh, the writers, yeah.
Yeah.
Because if not, Sophia and Terry might not be able to be on the show,
Yeah.
and that would be really bad for ratings.
Mm.
Why is it just Sophia and Terry?
They're just the ones that I know for a factor in.
No, they
Are in
all are
SAG.
SAG. Every one of them.
Really?
100%. You can't be on TV without being SAG.
I think it's different because it's reality, though. I don't know. Someone correct me in
It
the
might
comments.
be. They might not be SAG, but I think they've AFTRA.
Yeah.
I think that
yeah,
kind of
it's-
clears up
SAG is for
everybody
film,
else.
AFTRA's for
Yeah,
TV,
so
but I'm
that-
saying, but they've merged. But I'm saying if they're on a TV show, they're AFTRA.
You would think
100%.
so, yeah.
Yeah.
So then
Lots
that-
of stuff gets picked up in the kind of AFTRA.
it makes
bucket.
you wonder
Yeah,
what's gonna
reality or
happen.
not.
Radio stuff
Especially with
and-
money they're making.
Yeah.
There's
Oh,
no
yeah,
way in the world,
absolutely.
you know? So I wonder what is that?
Exciting! How exciting!
What is the show going to be? No writers?
Yeah.
Because didn't the Oscars have no writer? Yeah.
Yeah, they did.
Again, y'all,
It seems like they have no writers every year.
if you need to hire people for the show, we are available.
We
That
are.
is
guys.
true.
We are here. You know,
I have opinions.
we all have opinions. I think it'll be great.
We are scabs.
We are scabs. We will cross any picket line. We will sully any ethical line. We just want to get paid.
Well, okay. Let's reel it back, Dan. Not any.
We will murder anyone you need us to.
All right. Well, so this was an interesting episode.
Yeah.
You know,
A 3-hour episode.
3-hour episode, which I have to edit in a few minutes.
Yeah.
And, goes the rest
This
of
is
my
great, though.
afternoon.
I think it was a pretty good week overall.
Me
I think
too.
it started off with a couple of, but I think they pulled it out, and I think having
It was a fun episode.
2
Yeah.
or 3 that I think could really go.
I'm just
quite a
really
distance.
hoping that Mason comes on. We need.
Yeah, we
Could-
need Mason.
Yeah.
Could we also get Mason on the podcast? Is that
100%. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah, let's do that. Just tell me when.
Yeah. Let's figure that out.
And it'll be great if he gets on because we'll be able to talk to him all about it. And it'll be great if he doesn't get on because he'll be so bitter and he'll spill all the beans and it'll be great.
This is like, am I bitter? Am I a bitter person? That's funny.
Or he can be a bigger man and just be thankful for the opportunity. Blah 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 blah. blah.
But then it's like,
be
tell us
bitter.
the truth.
Dan's gonna be like, "Come on, man. There's got to be something you're mad about."
That's true.
Anyways, if you like the podcast, make sure to rate and review us. This is very important for the podcast, and it will help us immensely for other ventures that we decide to take up on the podcast. We also want to get video on here, and we want it to do really well. So give us your honest opinion. Also, comment down below. Since we've been posting this on YouTube, let us know what you like in the comments and what you would like us to talk about, or if you have any burning questions. Cool.
Yeah.
Yes,
and be
that
sure
was
to
fun.
check out our website, talentrecap.com. Thank you, Julian.
Wait. Spell it out for us, Corey. Come on.
No.
Let's hear it. TALENT.com. Oh, wait. No, it's not talent.com.
No.
I forgot the recap. Sorry. See, this is why I need you to say it,
It's
Corey.
okay. It's okay.
It's trickier than it seems.
Thank you
right.
guys for listening.
Thank
Thank
you
you
for
for
listening.
listening.
Very much appreciated.
Bye, y'all.
Speak to you next time.
Bye.
Bye.
Lovely.